good day, greetings everyone, which is, it will apply to everywhere you are in the world. Thank you for joining me this evening. That is from the Thief people of Nigeria. The Thief, they are a Bantoid speaking ethnic group within Nigeria. For those people that don't think Nigeria has Bantoid tribes, the Tiv are one of them. And the Tiv, they speak a Bantoid language. And to let people understand that the Bantu people you see all over Africa today, they originated from the Mambila Plateau. The Mambila people too are also another Bantoid group. And from what the linguists and evidence suggests, that the Bantu people that you see all the way from somewhere from the Mambila Plateau to South Africa, they all came from this region. And this is the part of Nigeria and the story of Nigeria that most people don't know about. The Tiv people represent a kind of symbol of what Nigeria means to so many Niger Congo population that we don't often pay attention to. We are like a people with amnesia. But that said, the conversation we are going to be having today is not here to divide anyone. It's not here to discriminate against anyone. It's a honest conversation to try to get to the truths of things. Because when you get to the truth of things, then one is not groping in the dark. Knowing is better than believing, and knowing is better than needing to have faith. And this conversation is to help us get closer to knowing the real truths of things. And then we are not here to discriminate against anyone. And I'm sure there will be opinions that are shared that are quite offensive to some people. Moroyi, I'm talking to you, but let's try to see and be patient with one another. That's what I'll say. God knows I have a big mouth, and I do have a strong opinion about things in such a callous way. A lot of people find it very abrasive, but take it in good faith. I'm just trying to understand. And so that is it on that. We are going to be covering the headlines of the week. US soldiers in Nigeria, APC Congress ends in fiasco. Obviously, that is quite interesting. I'm not. It will be interesting to talk about that, because with all the governors, all of them defecting and joining one party, God knows what will happen when the time comes. That's the thing about politics. You can't always predict. 10 years can happen in a week in politics, maybe even in a weekend. And so that is that. There is also the news of what is going on in the West. There could be a war in Iran, because Trump is a little bit Netanyahu is running to Washington and trying to nudge him. Hey, what's going on here? Are we not starting, or we are not starting? And the Americans are not very happy. Interestingly, there was an interview by Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson was interviewing Mike Huckabee, whom is the ambassador of the US to Israel. And that interview was quite fascinating, because it reveals something about the decay that is going on, maybe all over the world to an extent, but in the West especially. That a top-ranking politician in the world said that another nation has the right. To an extent, he basically said Israel has the right to take over most Arab countries because the Bible said so. And he couldn't get himself to say England has a right to exist, Ireland has a right to exist. This is a US diplomat. Couldn't get himself to say that. Even I can say that. Even I can say that England has the right to exist. UK has the right to exist. Nigeria has the right to exist. Come on. But he couldn't get himself to say that because the only time he says such a thing is to say Israel has the right to exist. So he cannot say it for anyone else, which is strange. But that is that on that front. Let's put a pin on it. I'm sure those that are paying attention to the news must have heard that the UK is doing what they do best. Whenever there is a crisis that is about to topple a lot of people, the UK gets ahead of it and start toppling its elites very quickly. I think the UK, they are one of the few countries that are very, very quick to sacrifice its elites before things get out of control. Prince Andrew has been arrested. And who knows, he may even be extradited to the United States. While in the US, they are busy redacting top or Epstein people that are conspiring with Epstein. They are redacting their name, trying to shield them, saying his politics and all the rest. So that is what you get in the United States. But in the UK, even if Peter Mandelson has fallen, Prince Andrew, or maybe I don't know whether you call him Mr. Andrew now, he too has fallen, and rightly so. I must say the UK is moving quite quickly. They are trying to correct course like they always do when things like this start happening. Remember, there was a time in the past when the French, they had their French Revolution. They decided that they don't want their monarchy anymore, and they decided to just do away with all of them. The Russians did the same. The Chinese did the same. The British, they did it halfway. Because the British, they don't overdo things. And whatever is going on in America right now that is corrupting them, the British will not allow it to go too far. Say whatever I like, that's just the fact of history. That said, there is also the Secretary of State of America went to Europe and told them, hey, my brothers in Europe, we've been arguing over Greenland. Why don't we just go back to the days where we used to colonize people, when we used to expand all over the world? But it wasn't that nice. Can't we just do that? If we do that, we are brothers. That is what the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, went to Europe to announce to them. And we Africans are sitting here like sitting ducks. Funny enough, a few years ago here, I said the whole world is sharpening its knives while Africans are just watching, thinking that they are sharpening it for themselves. Maybe we are the targets. But hey, let me not say anything because our people, they don't like thinking that they have to someday fight for anything. They want to sit here and complain and run to foreign land like gold diggers. They run to foreign land like gold diggers to go and work for other people. And when they work and they are old enough, if they are lucky, their casket gets home. If they are not lucky, they get buried overseas, depending on which one they prefer. That is what we do, isn't it? People talk about recolonizing us. The news is not even being covered in Africa. They don't care. Because many of us are resigned our fate. Many of us will be so happy when people march into our country. I'm sure they will be jubilating when they first come in, just like Baghdad did. And people always rejoice when a coup happens. So they'll be happy to see foreigners come and take over from Wiki and Tinubu and all that, forgetting that they've sacrificed something very, very great by doing that. But that is that anyway. That's from Marco Rubio in Europe. The European leaders pretended as if they didn't hear what he said. I'm sure they did. They are all longing for the day they can directly take over everything that we have. It's just what it is. I don't blame them. They are trying to do what the right thing for their people. What are we doing for our own people? So that is that on the Europe end of things. And Marco Rubio, I must say, he seems to be, his profile in the last week went up. I have to give it to him. As the Secretary of State, he seems to be doing better. That's his visibility is there, and he seems to be making at least coherent speeches. even if it's diabolical for us. So it is what it is anyway. That could have been a Berlin conference, a kind of, but the only difference is that the Chinese and the Indians were not present in that meeting. So that is on that front. In the case of the election that was held today in Nigeria, the part that I can witness is the one I witnessed was in Abuja, since I'm based in Abuja. I mean, it was a bit, it was not eventful really. It was quiet. People went and voted. I'm sure the turnout will not be will not be high. I don't know one person that voted. I don't know one person that voted at all. So the turnout will be quite low, and whoever is going to be anointed will be anointed the winner. And I would prefer. I don't even know who I prefer, because ADC is just a new party. I don't know the candidate. He just looks young. If you want to go by my bias towards younger candidates, I would say I prefer the ADC candidate. He looks younger, and of course he's going to make mistakes. Chances are that he has a chance to change. The older candidate, they don't change. They don't tend to change. Sometimes it doesn't mean just because you're old you don't have good ideas. You may have good ideas. You may do better than most. But I just believe that younger people, they are more likely to change. Someone like Tinubu now, he wouldn't if he tried, he wouldn't be able to. He can't change. He doesn't have it in him to change anything anymore. And even if he thinks he's changing, he's not. For him, change is just maybe blinking the eye slightly differently. That's all he considers change. So that is that on the election in Abuja. I don't know who is going to win, but we're going to see the results. It's harder to rig in the cities, you see. So if people truly voted for ADC, a young man might win because his photograph is everywhere, and there's nowhere you turn you don't see his face. I tell you. For a moment, I thought it was APC actually, because if ADC is supposed to be weak, man, they sure do have presence. ADC is supposed to be weaker than APC, but their posters are everywhere. So they must be doing something right from that point of view. I have to give that one to them. Nigerians reject electoral law. I don't know whether they reject it. They reject it outright, because the law as it stands, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys will tell me how it can be made better. I'm not so sure. I can't see how the law that was passed now can be made better. The idea is you upload to IREV, and if there is no signal or there's no connection, then you do it manually. I don't know what else you want from that point of view. My own recommendation is if too many polling stations don't have connection, and let's say 80% of, let's say, an LGA has to rely on manual collation, I think that election should be redone, because that manual collation is where the funny business happens. So it can have the potential of overturning an election. I think maybe if they had put that caveat there, that will incentivize the INEC to ensure there is good connection. You know what I mean? So that is that on that point. What else is there about El-Rufai? Everybody seems to be commenting about El-Rufai. What I see in El-Rufai is that he's one of the most stubborn politicians in Nigeria. Maybe the bravest, actually, in some sense. I get, maybe you can say Wike is the bravest, apart from his antics in the aircraft. Because El-Rufai, once he puts his mind to something, he doesn't seem to be afraid of anybody. I don't know where his power comes from. Some they will know. Maybe there's an Epstein kind file out there that will know where his power comes from, because El-Rufai was the man that said they were going to form a parallel government against Goodluck Jonathan. When I saw that video, I was like quite surprised to see an individual saying in Nigeria they are going to form a parallel government. That was crazy thinking. That's El-Rufai for you. He knows how to up the ante, creates all kinds of, like, I will up you one and you do your worst. That's his approach. He was the politician that defied Buhari when Buhari wanted the naira to currency to be swapped, that they should not distribute the old currency. El-Rufai came on TV and defied the president, and he got away with it. He defied two presidents that I know openly, publicly, and got away with it. And he may also defy this one. So the question you have to ask yourself is, Yeah, sorry guys, sorry, really, really, really sorry. I don't know what's going on with this internet, man. It's really like, when you're in Nigeria, I guess that's what you get. You get what you get when you're in Nigeria. It's quite messy out here. It's like my connection just completely cut off. Zero. No any way to come back online. And I had to basically restart the router for everything to even start working again. It's just unbelievable some of the things you see in this country. And what can you say? I've been in the UK streaming from there all this while. I never had one issue like this. This is just crazy. You can't keep track of anything really. But what can we say? So sorry about that, viewers. It was a glitch, and try to forgive our shabby country. It's us that did it. We caused this problem, and the country, you can't get good connection. This is what happens until we sort out our internet connection. We're going to keep experiencing these our problems within the country. I really feel bad for Nigerians that have to work overseas and communicate with people. Can you imagine being in a board meeting? There's power outage in Nigeria and your internet connection goes away. Goodness. Why do we have to disadvantage ourselves this much? Why do we have to disadvantage ourselves this much? I don't understand it. So, the news, like I was saying about El-Rufai, he seems to be an unusually powerful person. Maybe his people decided to cut my line. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just Nigeria internet doing its thing. But I said, but it seems also to be a man of his word. Because I think Chim played a video of him upholding a kind of pledge they made to the current president that they were going to back him, because they made a pledge. They could have decided to renege on the pledge. And I think some people within the Buhari government reneged on that pledge. And maybe others did too. But El-Rufai stuck to it. And when he's fighting on your side, if El-Rufai is fighting on your side, be careful. That's the opponent should be very careful if the El-Rufai is fighting on the other side. And Tinubu should be worried. And regarding the poison, it sounds crass. It sounds almost like a betrayal. And it also sounds like he's trying to tempt the government to do something. Like, like poke you in the eye and say, you do something. Let's see what you can do. Do your worst. You are buying poison. I see, governments buy all kinds of things. That's true. And some governments abuse power more than others. That's true. And to say government is not allowed to procure any kind of product, how about the country that has that product? What should the people say? So I think he's playing a game of I dare you, try me. Because the moment the government goes into a tussle with him towards the election, the government is the one that is going to lose this in political weight. In other words, not that the government will lose political weight, they will elevate ADC. And that is the game El-Rufai is playing. The more you persecute him, the more you elevate him. El-Rufai is like Nnamdi Kanu that knows how to play the politics. That's basically what he is. He plays it in such a way, he is offensive. When I say offensive, not like annoying no, like somebody that attacks. He attacks in politics in such a way, strategically gives him an advantage, not disadvantage that ends him up in jail. That's what El-Rufai does. And Tinubu better be careful. The more they handle him, the more they might find themselves in problems in the election that is coming up. That said, it is what it is. Nigerian politics is what it is. As a matter of fact, I just feel like Nigerian politics is a kind of mini version of what is going on globally. And in the last couple of weeks, I'm beginning to realize that what is going on globally, I wouldn't say globally actually, because the communist nation seems a little bit different. They seem a little bit different at the moment. You don't hear some of the stuff you hear about. I will not say they are different actually, because we hear some, like, organ harvesting in China. We hear about some, but you don't see some of the depraved behavior that you see in some parts of the world, in China or Vietnam, maybe a little bit in Bangkok and Thailand, but not in a lot of the Asian nations. Even India is not. India has their issues, their caste issues, but they are not that out there too, in terms of the level of depravity that they can, you know, descend to. Um, the West, the problem of the West is corruption. Almost like Nigeria, many Nigerians will fail to recognize it, because their system has not decayed to the level ours has, and they may never let it decay to that point. It doesn't mean they don't have corruption. They have similar kind of corruption. Most of the oil that you see America goes to, like Syria, Iraq, most of that oil revenue doesn't make it back to the American coffers. It makes it back to the, I guess it makes it back to the American coffers through the top guys and ladies that are in charge of the system, that know what is going on. And when they are selling weapons, the same thing happens. The money goes through them and comes back into their pocket again. So everything, the money is circling, just like it does in Nigeria. Corruption is corruption. They all circle around. The West is decaying. That is why China, after how many, just 4 decades, China has overtaken the West. Why? I don't think it's because of corruption. Because I don't think it's because China is more intelligent. I mean, it's due to corruption in the West. The West, they could have been investing in their people more. Instead, they are busy investing in the elites, their depraved, you know, sensibilities. That's what they are doing, and you can argue that the same thing is happening in Nigeria too. Most of our wealth is to service the elites and their sensibilities, taking their children overseas, getting overseas treatment for their health problems, building houses in the West, going there for holidays, buying foreign cars, spending foreign currency. That's all they do. Those sensibilities are corrosive to any society, and that type of sensibility, you see that in the West too. That's why everybody is saying that they're coming down, they're coming down, they're coming down. That is where the similarities end, though, between them and us. They can recover like that because their decline is not, how do I put it? It's not it's not unsustainable. You see what I mean? Their decline is not unsustainable. It can be stopped because they have the ability to stop it. Ours, we have the ability to stop it, but it's harder for us. It's a lot harder for us because we don't have the muscle to get out of the bondage we have put ourselves in. But they do. They have the power. They have the muscle. I've seen this happen before with the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union fell, Russia fell to pieces. The mafia was controlling everything. 4 years after Putin comes into office, Russia is back on its feet again. So the decline of Russia was not inevitable. You can easily reverse it because they pack a punch. And the US, even if they are declining right now, they can stop it. They have the power to stop it, and they have the luxury. Before we are going to be able to stop it, there's going to be a lot of problems. I don't know whether we have the power to do that, because we have just been in such a terrible state. And anybody that wants to come and talk about these things can come and talk about them, because there's quite a bit of news out there. We in Africa, we don't like to talk about certain things because we are scared. Let's face it, most of our top news outlets, most of our top, even see, to show you how scared we are, most of our top Nigerian YouTubers are scared. That is interesting. Actually, it's a very interesting thing when I think about it now, because I have seen Kenyans talk about the Epstein file more than Nigerians. That's what I mean by Kenyan YouTubers come out and make documentaries about it than Nigerians do. And that is telling. Is telling. Because Nigerians can't wait to twerk. They can't wait. They are scared. They are scared and they are waiting to sell. They're waiting for money. They don't want to say anything in case the money that is going to be coming from the West doesn't reach them. And yet they will be the ones they'll be very happy to go and criticize their president for running to IMF to beg them for money and listening to everything the IMF says. Whether the IMF they listen to the IMF or not, their president is governing for the West, being caretakers for the West. They don't like it, but they too are doing the same thing, because it's very strange. If anybody knows a Nigerian YouTuber or even TikToker that talks about the Epstein issue, let me know. That even talks about the Israeli conflict, let me know. Just let me know. They won't. They won't. Because they are already, many of them are just waiting to get paid. And yet they will accuse Nigerian news, news stations and journalists of taking brown envelope. Nigeria is a brown envelope country, let's face it. Africans, they call us what did they call us? Begistan? Abegistan. That's what they call Nigeria. We beg. Let's face it. Let's not sugarcoat it. This is what we do. That the fact that you don't see a lot of Nigerians talking about that issue tells you many of them are even ashamed, because they know they praise these countries. Many of them, they will praise these countries and die for these countries before they die for Nigeria. That's why they don't say anything about it. That's why they keep quiet. That's why they are all too happy for Trump to come and bomb. As a matter of fact, that's why many of them will be happy to be colonized. And you wonder why black people never move forward. I tell you, Nigerians are the core of the problem. Nigerians are at the core. Whether we deliberately did it to ourselves, or the people that actually know what they are doing engineered it to be this way. Now we seem to be there to prevent things from changing on the continent. That's as if things are that good. That's why you see, whenever you see any serious controversial issue happening in the world, Nigerians, they are scared of talking about it. They don't want to talk, because when we say the world, if this was Russia, they will talk. Oh, if it's Russia, they are happy to talk. I can tell you that. And the Nigerians will happily talk about Russia. They will happily talk about China. But when it comes to America, United Kingdom, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. The Nigerians might even talk about France a bit. But no, don't bring America into it. Don't bring United Kingdom into it. Don't do that. You do that, they will just start, thinking, I don't know, man. Maybe some of them, they have wives. Some of them, they have business partners that they worry that if they say certain things, it's going to ruin their chances. That is the name of the game. That is why some news don't get to Nigerians, so that the Nigerian people's eyes open. Why would you not tell Nigerians some of the most heinous things that has come out in the West, so that they know, the people that build these systems, so that our people know their culture? Why would you not tell Nigerians about what some of the people in the Middle East are doing. So that when they know that these people, they are elites, this is what they do, they will think twice when they just want to run there and think that that is where heaven is. They don't tell them. We don't tell Nigerians anything. Why would Nigerians know? I'm telling you, Nigerians are some of the most ignorant people on the continent. And it's not even that statement is not an overstatement. It's almost like it was deliberately done. They keep us deliberately in the dark. I don't know about the Francophone countries. Maybe they too are a little bit like that too. But Nigeria, man, geez. You saw how quickly now Tinubu twerked the moment Trump threatened. Was very, very happy to twerk. I'm like, hey, where do you want to bomb? Just show us where you want to bomb. Something you can do yourself. You're welcoming some other person to come and do it. Why need you do it yourself? Now, Marco Rubio is talking about recolonizing the world. This is something I've been warning about. Let's hope European leaders don't take him up on it. Maybe they've already taken him up on it. Maybe that's what we are already seeing in Nigeria. The way they are going to take over the country, it's not going to happen. People think when they want to take over the country, they're going to come out with one great ship. It's going to come out and they will announce, they will proclaim, here we are to recolonize you. This is how it's going to happen. That's not how it's going to happen. The way it's going to happen is like what you saw last year, threatening the president, they bomb. Now they bring people in. They'll say the people are coming in for, just reconnaissance and anything. Before you know it, those same people, they will gain more power than even your president. They start telling your president what needs to be done and what does not need to be done. And if your president doesn't do it, you will see them use muscle to remove that president from office. And you won't be able to do anything. You'll be too late. You won't be able to do anything. What are you going to do? Many of us will be even happy. But that is the problem with our people. How can the people sell out their whole survival to another set of people and they don't even understand what they are selling out? That is how bad our situation is. Esau, children of Esau, they will sell their birthright. When I was younger, I never truly got the significance of that story. I guess I got it to a level. All I thought was that he just wanted food more than he cared about blessings. No, he sold his birthright. That message there is very deep. It's not only about blessing. He sold authority to life to some other person. Because when you sell blessings to other people, you have brought curse onto yourself. Because you without blessing and some other person with blessing, you will seem like a cursed person. That's what it is. You can't have light without darkness. It's meaningless. A blessed person cannot be next to somebody that is not blessed. That's what we do. We sacrifice everything so that others can take over. Whatever they decide to do, you don't have control over it. We don't understand that. We don't understand that if they decide that, okay, every week we're going to be marching 20,000 Nigerians into this hall and they will never return again, you can't stop it. Like that power that you are giving away, that right you are giving away to a totally different people that has no qualms about getting rid of you. They are not your people. And we know in this world, that's how it works. I wish they feel for us, but history has suggested that it's not their job to feel for us. It's our job. How can you not feel for yourself and you want others to feel for you? Why are we this way? Dr. Damage is often asked, who did this to us? Yeah, you can ask. There are so many ways to look at that question. Who did this to us? In some ways, we did it to ourselves because we refuse to change. In other ways, you can say the outsiders, decide that they are going to make us this way with their own power. Somehow, that one seems to have won through. Is the one that controls the current situation we are in. Because if we had decided to fight it and change, we wouldn't be in this place. Many of us, to show you how we are one strange set of people. And I've seen sometimes Trump will do some stupid things. Our leaders will not say anything. Our people will not say anything. Even our YouTubers will pretend as if they don't hear it. If you go online, you will see our YouTubers, they don't talk about anything else. They hardly talk about anything over international. While the rest of the world is talking about, as a matter of fact, if you go online and you go to America, you go to UK, most of them are talking about things international. Most of them are. But Nigerian ones, insular. They barely even talk about fellow African countries. It's recently they are even starting to do it. Before, they don't even do it at all. It's recently we have someone like David Hussein, like a lot of people like to badmouth here. At least he's there putting his own geopolitical views across. At least he's there. We don't have people that are willing to tell our people the truth. They just keep it, pretend as if the West is all shiny and they are angels. When clearly it's not the case. We have reason to put ourselves first. If you cannot put yourself first, they don't blame other people for taking everything that you've got. I really think that this is not a tribe thing. When Oyibo people start telling you that this is not about politics and everything, things have hit the fan. You see a lot of American conservatives and Republicans tell you that what they've seen now with the Epstein files, this is not about politics. This is not about Republican versus Democrats. This is about good, not even about rich versus poor. This is about good versus evil. Do you see Nigerians talking about that? Like Trump is in office. It's like APC people coming out right now and start saying this is not about APC versus ADC or Labour. This is about evil, good versus evil. It's not even about rich versus poor. Good versus evil. That's what many of them are calling in the West. That's what they see their leaders doing. That they have decided that no, this is not going to ride. Let me meet you. So I've advised many of our American brothers. I've told them the way America is going right now is not looking good. If they start a big war, it's not going to look good. If they deport everybody, it's not going to look good. The Epstein file one is not going to look good. Nothing looks good. You have to be careful. And when I am in Nigeria, I've been in Nigeria for a while. I tell you this, I know why people leave Nigeria. Because Nigeria is frustrating. But it doesn't take a lot to make Nigeria less frustrating so that you can actually live well here. It doesn't take that much. I'm telling you, I can see on the ground. All you have to do is organize the people. Just organize them. And it's not even, you don't even have to necessarily take over the government. Just clean the streets, paint the houses, make the area look livable. Maybe contribute a little bit to the hospitals and make sure hospitals have better doctors. Those about little things. Just do little things and you'll be surprised how well the country functions. I am in Nigeria right now. I can tell you that there are so many things I see in Nigeria. I think, man, this place is not so bad. Yes, it's shabby, it's dirty. The culture that developed is rubbish. But still, The most essential part, the sun, even the harmattan, the land, the people. You don't have to second guess yourself. You don't have a woman looking behind you. Whether they are judging you, you don't have that. No, you can't. You can't give that one away. You may not feel it at the back of your head, that part of your brain that you have to use to translate and watch people all the time when you're overseas. No, that is gone when you're home. Yes, another one will start. You have the tribal one, you have all the other religious stuff, but still, you are in Nigeria, you are in your country, you are in your land. I know why we go. There was a time during Jonathan when I saw the tide turn. More people were coming back to Nigeria that wanted to leave. So it doesn't take a lot to bring Nigerians back. It really doesn't take a lot. And Nigeria was still shaming them, by the way. But it just felt a little bit of hope. And the economy was growing. People were returning into the country. It's a shame how our leaders, they govern the country to make sure they put pressure on the people so that they want to leave. Because that's their mandate. Maybe that's their only mandate. Keep supplying us souls to come and serve us, while you still ensure the natural resources are flowing through. Maybe that's their true mandate, because that's how they've governed. Because how can you see a situation whereby your people start returning home, you don't do anything to encourage that to carry on? Instead, what you do is encourage them to leave. So that's my experience of what I can see with our people. And I've said it before, and I'll repeat it again. Nigerians don't talk about things happening overseas because many of them have sold out already. They are hoping that they get funding, or some of them are hoping that they get approval, or they don't want their visa to be blocked. Many of them, our faiths, the way we live our lives like we can't afford to offend the British or the Americans. That's how we live our lives. That is such a small life to live. You barely can even visit those countries. They lock you out. Why don't you just start looking inward? Look at it. You have a massive, great continent out there. Maybe the greatest. We don't do that. We focus on everything else. We don't want to call them out when we see nonsense going on. We pretend as if we don't see it. And I think maybe I will be calling out our Nigerian YouTubers now. When I go there, I'll be like, why are you not talking about this international news that is occurring? Are you afraid? And so then when you go to their channel, they will not let you even use certain words. They will not let you use certain words because they are scared. So welcome, Omori, before you get upset with me.
So I know you can take the whole. No, you are an orator. You can speak for money tonight without getting tired. You can say opening prayers and say closing prayers. All of us will go home. So I'm listening to you. I'm learning to you. I'm a student. I'm a good student.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you at least you take some truths from what I've said. But this El-Rufai issue, I see El-Rufai as, because I didn't know everything he did when he was governor. Some people say he was very nefarious and all that. But I also see somebody that seems to be principled, and El-Rufai is the most hawkish politician against terrorists in Nigeria by words. I don't know what he has not done physically, but the way he talks about terrorists, he was like, we have to go after them. We have to build our security forces. The way I look at it too, El-Rufai is one of the our leaders that you want in. If you want to change Nigeria's trajectory in this world, you need people like that have like strong ethics, strong mind, and they are not afraid. You need somebody like that. But maybe all he's doing is just for show. I don't know. So I don't know what you make of El-Rufai.
All right, you want my opinion, right? All right.
Yes.
So when I wanted to come to the show earlier, I was on the road, my network wasn't stable. So thank God I have another opportunity to hear my views. Honestly, forefather, I don't think, maybe the way I think there's something wrong with some of us that feel there is still hope when people are saying we have been captured. I don't belong to those people. My upbringing, right from secondary school, I don't belong to a group of people that feel we have been captured. But the problem is basically with us, the people. I will explain to you. I am not too comfortable discussing El-Rufai and Bola Tinubu. And there is no difference between these two people. El-Rufai is an embodiment of a lot of things. The good, the bad, and the ugly. A brilliant guy, sharp guy, depend on the angle you're looking at El-Rufai from. If he's doing you some favor like he did to Tinubu and APC some years ago, they say he was brilliant, he was smart. Now that the tide is turning against him, those people see him as evil. So I don't feel comfortable discussing these people who don't really have any disagreement apart from their political interests. When their interests align, they are the best of friends. If he crosses to APC tomorrow, his sister forgive him. I don't like when we gather. We feel, sometimes I listen to you, I think you are brilliant. I don't want to, for want of better words, I think you are brilliant. But when you people come again, you contradict yourself here and there. I don't know what we want as a people. Somebody came on this show earlier to say democracy is not working for us. If democracy doesn't work, is it anarchy that will work? Is it dictatorship that will work? Is it monarchy that will work, where they were sacrificing human beings for their own selfish interests? I don't know what we want as a people. We know the truth, but we shy away from the truth. Some people, this is the same reason why people go to foreign land looking for a foreign messiah, in people like Donald Trump, thinking their help will come from abroad because they are cowards. Because they are cowards. So, I mean, I don't feel comfortable analyzing El-Rufai, the fight between El-Rufai and Tinubu. I'm not that kind of human being. They don't have any disagreement. No, they don't have any battle among them. The only thing you see right now is political disagreement on matters of interest. If their interests align this evening, they will come back and they will be the best of friends. This is El-Rufai, the same man that took the battle to Tinubu in Lagos, telling the Arabians of this world and Tinubu opponents in Lagos that he knows how to deal with godfathers. Between that time, that was a few months to APC primaries. Between that utterances on El-Rufai and when Buhari was neither here nor there, everybody thought he was going to support Osibajo. Later, people thought he was going to support Amechi. Later, he was even trying to bring up another Northerner in the then Senate president called, what was that man's name again? The then Senate president. So, he was so inconsistent that people could not really predict him. He took the likes of El-Rufai to penetrate the heart of Buhari, to make people understand that they have to support a certain candidate, that the Tinubu was their candidate. So between when he castigated and lambasted Tinubu in Lagos, when he took the fight to Tinubu in Lagos and when he turned 360 degrees, making Tinubu their candidate of APC, you want to ask me what transpired? What happened overnight? It was all about their interest. They needed to win the election. And they saw that, factor in Tinubu. So after winning, Tinubu turned 360 degrees to tell El-Rufai what you said a few days ago, I've not forgotten. I'm going to pay you back in your own coin. They took him to the Senate to humiliate him. Like I said before, I'm not comfortable analyzing these issues. They are non-issues to me. They are primordial issues. These are not things we'll be talking about. And people came here earlier, bringing results from Abuja, who is winning who, the agency candidates is winning where. I'm just looking at Nigerian intellectuals because they are abroad. They feel comfortable. They feel comfortable coming to the show every week, like Sunday tonic or Saturday tonic, every weekend tonic, talking about what politicians are doing. We're not talking about how we need to be liberated. They're waiting for Donald Trump, their greatest enemy, who called their country a shithole, to come and liberate them. The same people that make them miserable. See, forefather, we're like people that don't learn anything. from our civil war, for the 1966 coup, from the Operation Waitier, from the colonialization to the slave trade. We don't learn anything. And people that refuse to learn from history will definitely end up on the negative side of history. People came here, intellectuals came here today analyzing issues. If there's anything Tinubu could give to Nigerians, at least this electoral law. We once had a president who won, that's why his victory came to tell Nigerians that though he won, he wasn't comfortable with the way he won. He saw the need to turn things around. He was the beneficiary, immediate beneficiary of that ringing. But he was easy had the courage to say the process was wrong. The process was faulty. So he was actually doing one or two things, although he died in office before he passed. You could see it was the genuineness in him. Intellectuals gather here. You were about 10 on the platform. You are analyzing the result already. The same thing that Kiko be at Obobi, from what they are saying, but what we got from Obedient, they said they won that election. So they took the case to court after they were robbed. The court said it wasn't justiciable. For the fact that they had the option of either manual or electronic transmission. Now you are coming back to say you just started by saying you saw nothing wrong with that. Nothing could be better than that. If there's no network, if there's no network, they can transmit manually. You already falling for their trick. You already falling for their trick. Wait. Let me land. You already falling for their own trick already. Our brain, they don't worry. I mean, they look for cooler, for deep freezer. Now, that lacuna there, that single option they're giving you, the option they're telling you, if there is no this, there should be this, is the whole thing that will mess the whole exercise, the whole process up. That is a dangerous trap right there. It's a political trap they have set for you. So you guys are already falling for it. Why the option? They're telling you there will be no network. What makes you feel there will be no network? And that thing they're using, there is a element of inbuilt network in it. This was the deliberation for about 10. You listen to Mike Higini recently. Those were the people that knew the problem of Nigeria, the flaws of Nigerian electoral system. They came up with results. They put their lives on the line. Most of their colleagues were assassinated. So they came up with, tangible, solutions. Now, we're falling back after how many years, after how many billions that have been spent. We could go back to the same thing. I think.
Omori,
Can you just let me land my point? Please, don't stampede me and don't bamboozle me to speak the way you want me to speak. This is why people feel like I am hostile. I'm not hostile. They don't want to listen to me because they feel my voice is not good. It's not about me. It's not about my voice. Look, listen to the message I'm trying to pass. So they're giving you a very fraudulent. They're giving you a very fraudulent option now. You are already president that. Oh, this is the best thing that can happen to Nigeria. This is the best thing Tinubu can do. This is the best thing that Fabio has ever done. And you know why they put that lacuna there? You know why they put the option there? Whether network or no network, they will deliberately work against network. Whether network or no network, they're going to rely on the manual. That is where they are going. Why should we allow it instead of telling them to work on network so there can be network everywhere? So is it too much for Nigeria to have network everywhere? Is that too? This is 2026. Is that too much to ask for? Now, to my greatest surprise, if you say your leaders are terrible, your positions are even more terrible. Nigerians like you and I, we are even more terrible. We are terrible promise people. We are we are extraordinarily hypocritical. We are people of we are not sincere with ourselves. Now, I saw Obi last week with his team of Obedient campaigning in the midst of this electoral fraud, in the midst of this daylight robbery. You are campaigning for another election under the same electoral fraud that robbed you in 2023. Today, you guys came here analyzing the result already. By tomorrow, when we have another session, mark this one down because it's going to be my reference point tomorrow. You're going to be telling us how you were robbed, how the election was manipulated, how Wicked did this and that. Are you guys okay? You're doing the same thing over and over. In the same process, you are expecting a different outcome. You guys, you like talking every day, every weekend. I think you guys are benefiting from the talk we talk here. Most of us are not comfortable with it. I belong to a generation that hijacked a plane from the air. We were going to hijack more place if IBB did not step aside. I'm giving you a secret today. I belong to the generation that crippled Nigeria. We did everything we could. We were shot at. We tear gas. We went to jail. We paid the supreme price for us to have the democracy you guys are, talking about today. So I rest my case. You guys are not ready. If leaders are they are too nice. No leader, no politician will come that will not use us to shine because we are gullible people. We are very subservient. We are naive. We are not sincere people. We talk and talk and talk and talk. We don't even know what we want. If we don't know where we're going, we'll probably end up anywhere. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Omori, for that. First of all, I don't know why all these people that fight for people
Is forefather still there? I think maybe they have kidnapped a forefather in Abuja. Am I the only one on the show?
I'm here also, bro.
Yeah, okay. Revolution. Hey, best of the same feather, man. Let's rub our minds. Man, see, these people, they just use us shine every weekend. They come here, they entertain us by what politicians are doing. Nobody is talking about what are we doing to liberate ourselves. They are waiting for Donald Trump, the enemy of the black race, to come and liberate them. The same people that colonize them, the same people that oppress them, the same people that are busy taking their minerals, that is their messiah. Are we not dumb as a people? Revolution, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Respect to you, Omori. I was there earlier on today. If you see what thing they do me, I have to tell them, say, okay.
They're already collecting results. They are waiting for results again. They're waiting for another thing to open. Tomorrow they will come here and tell us how they were ring out. Are we insane?
We are not insane. They are insane. Because we are telling them.
My brother, you do want election under fraudulent law. The same fraudulent law has been passed, and they passed again into law. You instead of clamoring for enough is enough, we not go agree. We not go agree. You are busy campaigning for your candidate in Abuja. Today you are busy doing another election under the same fraudulent law that will take you nowhere. And that will lead you to another political oblivion. Now you are the intellectuals were here today gathering results, collecting results. And I think there's something wrong with us as a people. There's something wrong with us.
There's something wrong, oh. There's something wrong, my brother. 85% of Nigerians, something is wrong with them. And we don't open eye, we they tell them, say, make una wake up. Something they wrong with you now. But if you talk, they go say, what you they talk. This one don't know anything. You see, today, earlier today, I see say you said was coming in, going out like me. It can't nearly reach my turn. Now, in fact, now my turn, my brother. Now, so they change the Dr. Damages come past the baton to Tinubu brother, which is called Chim. Now, so Chim enter, change the whole show. Now I say, make I talk. Oh, he just tell me, say, if I talk too much now, he go just throw me out of the show. I saw, boy, reach that one. Now I run away. Tell her, say, my brother, I'm sorry. Oh. You see, what thing are they try to tell them, Nigerians? First of all, I tell some Nigerians, say, many Nigerians, 85% of Nigerians will go tell you, say, then go school. Omorie, forefathers, whoever is listening, many of them, really, they no go school. Only what thing they feel give us be certificate. I'm a graduate. That's all. That's only what thing they go feel provide. Not be say they no read them, then qualify. But I they try to tell them education no be say you get certificate. You know the time why I enter Europe, now I see say education no be say you go school. Education be say you get moral. You no agree. You they talk something, I no go agree, I no go agree. You get what thing they go do you go tell the person say, nah, brother, I no go agree. The person do and just to test you. But if you keep quiet, you go take and stand on top of your head. At the time they say that the way P2B come there, can't do protests. They ask us here, I said those are just waste of time. Because the time when they protest for the real thing, P2B did not show face. When our brother and leader was protesting for revolution now, P2B show face. He not show face now. Now when they don't fool us against the election, don't come. Thank God you don't already explain and make up for no waste time. The same condition where they rig the last election. Now they come make legalize now. Still you want go do the election. When you know say the thing will go happen, go happen. The chairman waited for the election board, where they call Wike, he tell you say, if you no vote for our man, you no go enter. Nigerians, they look there like Lucozade. Nobody feel say, okay, for that statement alone, make we scatter the country. No, they keep quiet. You see, the only place where I feel say, I want to challenge you small with forefather. When we they talk of recolonization, is because there must be what una way go school they call, you know, say they get the first option, they get second option, they get third option. Me, I don't level the second and the third option. The option where we give them, first one, protest. They say they no go protest. Say because they go do this, they go do that. Okay. We say revolution. They say no, revolution. What is, they ask me tire here, what do you mean by revolution? I say, okay, if we no one revolution, make we call the people where put us for this quagmire where we did so. Make they come repair the thing. Come hand over to the right people. Now there we do. Nobody don't give me answer up till now. My brother, make I leave now because as I did so I the best. Say they even go for your election. Are they really the best? Because the condition where they go take judge that election, I don't already know say why you did there.
Revolution. Why we not channel the same energy for campaign and another election that fraudulent act? It twice we not go agree. So they go to make it team. If you tell them, they tell you say Nigeria don't need anybody to lead them. No, Nigeria is not worth dying for. We cannot lead. Now if for man, if we lead now, then they go shoot for inside crowd. What kind of people are we? We are all selfish. We are all selfish. We are selfish. Everybody, some people want to benefit from Nigeria. Nobody says want to contribute to Nigeria. We are all selfish. The same people in the blame us today. Just to put this one in. My friend CN was here earlier. When Wike was doing all those shenanigans in Port Harcourt, we used to meet in one platform called Nigerian Watch. You know what they tagged me there? They tagged me as a personal enemy of Wike. They say I have personal hatred for Wike. Until they were there and they were hoping Wike was going to support their candidate, Obi. The moment Wike refused to support Obi, before they began to see the evil in Wike. I'm like, are you guys like this? The same people that were beating us up in meeting, when PDP was shouting, we share the money, share the money. We say, no, we cannot continue to share the money the way we are going. Nigeria is heading for a doom. They are today, most of them are either in APC. Those of them that have not joined APC are the ones complaining in APC today. I mean, we are not serious. We are deceiving ourselves. We are a bunch of jokers. And that's my case. Forefather, take over. Why am I appearing in three places? I'm one individual. I can't be three.
You are saying, I don't know what you are saying. Okay,
Nigeria now. I don't know what they do for Nigeria.
Maybe it's the other side. No, I'm still in Nigeria. So, but the point you are making, no, you are thinking, hold on, let me check. I think I know what's going on here.
My brother, sorry. We will continue to fight.
This is crazy.
We are not going to give up. Even last weekend, I follow my sister, Kore Small. They tell the brother with Dr. Caricom. Say, he asked and say whether the guy want die for Nigeria. I can't tire and say, which kind of question did they ask so? Somebody already make up in mind, say, go fight the injustice of Nigeria. You now come they ask a question, why they do so? Can you imagine? Somebody will decide to fight for the justice of Nigeria. Just like fella now. You go begin to ask fella, say, why they fight for Nigeria? Or Shore now. You go ask and say, like I did ask her now, you never tire. Why you not go back to America where you can become a citizen? They think all of us where they Europe, they enjoy this Europe. Not be saying we they suffer, but at least that's our country. What of those where they suffer there? We no get hope. We for leave them like that. They do them big boy.
Can you hear me?
I don't tire for Nigeria. That election, I not
can you hear me?
At all. Because before you go play football, they must give rules and regulations.
Yes.
So that the referee go follow up.
Thank you.
Not be when they tell us say they go rig election, you can't enter the election. Then when they rig them again, you go begin complain. They already say they go rig them. You
recolonization, you can't hear me.
Come out say we no go agree. Make them change up. Then come out 2 days protest. Waiting happen. Even say I want them to why you they join all these kind of people? If we want to do our own protest, make we protest for ourselves. Don't join all these people who don't know what they are doing. Can you imagine Amechi na come protest? People we hold about the money where Nigeria money where they are Amechi pockets. If they lock Amechi for toilet where they smell, you go. If Amechi no bring out money, you go bring up to 2 trillion naira where he hide. Now come they protest for Nigerians. Can you imagine? No repercussion. The people will steal our money. They still they make noise. They still they go up and down. Now Nigerians still want vote for. So that means they do not commit a crime. My brother, me I there for work, Jerry. I just say make I talk. But forefather, nobody know. Omari, they hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you. But you can't hear us. You can't hear us. So what I see in this is that I think Omari misunderstood me when I said.
They hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We heard you.
We can hear you, but you can't hear us. Omari misunderstood me when he said that I said that the current reform to the electoral bill is the ideal one, because I went on to say yes, from the point of view that there is no other alternative. We make it look like you have to transmit. What if people start jamming signal completely just for the heck of it? What are you going to do? Are you going to say the election is out of the way indefinitely? But my own way of looking at it is that the way you can do that is they could have put a caveat there and said any LGA where 80% of the polling units or sites don't they cannot cast their vote due to no signal. They cannot upload to IREV. Then they need to redo the election in that LGA again. You could see that kind of situation occur where you make sure they redo the election if people are not up, because IREV should be one of the ways to count the election, which is something that they have acknowledged this time. They didn't acknowledge it before, like IREV was a valid way of counting the election. This time they have acknowledged that IREV should be one of them. The problem now is if that IREV method is completely circumvented, they should have put a quote there and say, you know what, because that's the most transparent method, and if it's completely circumvented, then the election should be reheld. You can't now just hijack it in manual system completely. That might take from the point of view of this thing, if anybody wanted to make an argument. Secondly, he also made an argument about Nigerians rejecting democracy. And, like, they fought for democracy. Why should Nigerians reject democracy? People reject democracy because democracy is not doing very well for them. What I would have expected Omorich to be thinking about is, how do you give them a better democracy? Because the democracy we have now is not a good one. That's why I always tell people, look at the Swiss model. It's a form of democracy. You don't have to go to a dictatorship. It's not always good to go to a dictatorship. In Nigeria is diverse. You go and create a dictatorship, before you know it, one side is going to start complaining that you are getting too much favor, and the whole thing is just going to blow up again. Nobody needs that drama in Nigeria. So that's how I see it, Okwegolo. I know that they come after you quite a lot, and you are like a customer for them right now. You're kind of trolling them. You to be fair, some of them, they have a bit of valid point when they hear you sometimes doing some of all those things. But I try to see beyond that, because I know that you also have this other understanding that most people don't have. And you are one of those people that you know about the stuff that is going on with Epstein. You know about all this. Many Nigerians don't care. They don't know anything. If I ask Omori about it now, he's going to be like, he's going to go blank. Recolonization will pretend as if he doesn't care. That recolonization, you know what? Come back recolonization. I have a question to ask you about about your ideas, so that let's see what you think about, what we found out about the Western leaders that you like to say they should come and recolonize us. Ovie, what do you make of the entire contribution and Electoral El-Rufai? You talk about the events that has occurred during the week, really. Since I'm in Nigeria, I can't fully control my fate here. The connection can jump off any moment. And when it does, start making your own national broadcast, okay?
Let's talk about serious issue. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think today, as of today, you look around, what do you think is the most serious issue? I'm talking globally, like general, among human civilization. What do you think is the present issue?
I think the most serious issue is the instability going on in America. America is behaving like a vibrating keg that's about to blow, and it could start a war tomorrow with Iran. It could implode into a massive uprising among the people and their governments. It could go into the ICE direction. The ICE direction is becoming like a second fry at the moment, actually, because this Epstein stuff is beginning to really, really. Because the UK now, the former prince in the UK is already under arrest. The top government official has already resigned in the UK. The Prime Minister of the UK is already facing a lot of pressure to resign because of some of the things that's come out from that Epstein file alone. So, but Americans, they pretend as if they can't see it. They can't see it until things hit the fan. So I don't know what you make of it. America is the biggest news right now because of what they are doing. You also saw Marco Rubio go to Europe to talk about recolonization. So there's too many things America is triggering right now. It's just the concern is not even just, it's not only for like, it's not like they are concerned, we are concerned for America. We are concerned for the fate of the entire world, because America is trying to endanger everybody. Because Marco Rubio said it himself. That's what they want to do. They said they are not going to be custodians of the management of their decline. They are not going to be there to manage their decline. That's not happening. So what they mean by that is, we are going to mess things up. We are going to knock things left and right until you submit, and that is not going to happen easy. I hope it's not serious, because if it is, all bets are off. All bets are off. That's how I see America right now. So where are you on it?
Where I am, I'm the other side. I'm in the other side of where you are. I give you 1/10, and that is because you only got one thing right, which is you are spot on when it comes to what is more important today and the world, which is detention. But now your direction of detention, now it can, don't destroy the point where I'm supposed to give you. Now, what do I mean? I'll then put it to you today, tonight. I've been looking for where I go tell you this thing, in a way that maybe we can go back and forth. If there is civil war within the next 10 years, it will happen in Europe first, before in the United States. Britain will be in my top or the number one list. France, Germany. Then if you count Turkey as a part of the European Union, then you put that in there too. Before the civil war will happen in the United States. But I believe the civil war will not happen. Now, I said that because you miss exactly what thing they actually happen, right? And I always said it here. If you don't understand World War One, you have no clue of what you are actually going on. Now, why do I say that? Because the 1700s and the 1800s is the foundation of the world that we have today. One, that is when the Great Britain raised to power, Then at the same time, within the 1800s, that was what bettered the United States, and the world has never been the same again. Now, where I say civil war will happen first in Great Britain, for instance, and you bring Kesiama on the table. The reason why I'm not a Busha in him, now Prime Minister. First of all, the reason why they arrest Una Prince, I think that's the first time since since 1640s, right? They never, I mean, you can, check me on that. I'm not very sure of the day, but is that back when then anything like that happened before, when they arrest their prince? Now, yes, everybody, the media will like you to focus on Epstein file, what he did and all that kind of thing. Those are reality, those are facts. But one of the main reasons why he was arrested was the fact that the secret he gave to Epstein regarding the business. And to understand where that secret is very important, I think I said it here, maybe dated by 5 years ago now, that the British royalty, as we say it, I don't think we see exist by the year 2030, and people thought that was crazy. I think that during when Queen died, or during when that their prince with the American and the first people, I think that's when I said that people thought this guy is crazy, right? The institution, power, the last power of the Great Britain to kind of interwoven with the globalists. To Nigeria, you understand the dichotomy of the globalists and the nationalists, right? The strain that is still keeping the globalists going is hidden under the British crown. So if you understand, we have the British, then the House of Lords, they are then the people they represent now, right? The House of Lords is going, right? They are trying to replace it with representative people rather than this the way that they select her now. And to understand, I have to go back to 1912. During Woodrow Wilson's era, because I saw it before America before, which is where you need to be very grounded in the British history, how those who left England to go settle for America, the power that they see within the American system, especially the
Hold on. I think you are going too far into the British needle. First of all, on what basis would the British civil war erupt?
I'm just telling you. That's what I'm telling you now. The British monarchy is going. So are they going to fight back?
No, I see from what I'm observing right now, except something in the Epstein file completely blows. Like when we say blows, it blows into the British monarchy like they are part of something even bigger. Forget it. It's not time.
Let me bring it down to
20 years, but not now.
Let me bring it down to maybe when I use the word globalist, I thought you will figure that out. Now, this at this moment, within the last 2 weeks, the island between where British own but American military did there, where they are trying to
Yeah.
they're trying to release or give back to your African brothers, right?
Mhm.
That is going on at the same time. US, if you look at the military troop that is going to Iran, no be ground troop. Now Navy and air power, they go there. Why? Right? What the British people and the Iran, what did they get in common? I see that power of royalty, right? So the IGC, because the Iran as it did so, the Islamic the Ayatollah, then the bureaucrats. So even if you take Ayatollah out, the effects will not really affect the Iran like that. Why? Because of the British and French interest in Iran, right? So Iran, as it is being strangled by regional interests. I'm saying this to tell you where the British power still remain relevant, right? So what the Americans are trying to do in Iran is to entangle Iran, to lose Iran from global conflict, so that even anything won't happen in the United States will be local, right? And if you entangle Iran, to understand it, you have to actually understand the map of Iran, where Iran did all the various interests, the Russian, the Chinese. The Russians, for instance, they are trying to boycott. The only way to boycott those sanctions when they give them that the oil is flowing from that place is for the to dismantle that place. Then there's an island that they can that they can go through without all this nonsense sanction that the globalists are putting on them. The Chinese, for them to actually reap the benefit of their roadmate and initiative, they also have to start buying fuel in full price with Iran. And the only way that thing can happen now to entangle Iran, because Iran today, the string that hold Iran together is the relationship between Iran and the Chinese. That they get free, pretty much less to nothing price for the oil that they get.
Well, have you
So
noticed that you've done something just now that I accuse Nigerians of doing? Sometimes you didn't confront the issue. I don't know how much you know about the Epstein file and the stuff that came out from there.
no, that's what I'm saying. FC5. That's what I say. I said about the Epstein file. I not to talk about the Epstein file because, as far as I'm concerned, what the media are focusing on are distraction about this. I'm not saying all the accusation, the rape, the cannabis, whatever, did not happen. But we're talking about raw power here. The world is changing. How do you think it's going to happen successfully without some people being compromised? That's what Epstein file is about. Yes, it's real, but people who are compromised are not like me and you. So there's a reason. So now raw power, the world is changing. So whether the globalists, I mean, that's where the war will happen. If war won't happen in the Third World War at all. Because one thing the opposition understand, people like the Chinese and the Russian, for instance, now where they shout, those people, their weapon is this is a point. They have found out that Trump is not fucking around. And I'm telling you, there's greater percent chance that power will be shown, because that's what great power rivalry is all about. Moku test who actually get power pass, and you will see it. It might not come the way with the things that Iran go respond. Everybody thinks that Iran go respond, they go block this. You will see them. So they begin to find that out. But all these things is on that now just for the media. I'm telling you what is already happening. It is power. The old guards are to go. If you look at the Supreme Court judgment, now 6-3. Those 3 are loyalists to the nationalists. Why those 6? Those are the British input in the United States. So there's more that is going on than within the MC fight than what the media is saying on. I'm not saying the rape did not go on, the children did not, whatever you are saying, I'm not saying that did not happen. But they allow it to go on for that long to compromise people who they know their strategic position or their interest in power will be difficult to overrule unless they compromise them. So forget about the actors. you have to understand actually what power is all about, where all this power, waiting they hold them. Because if you look, when Trump is actually putting the hits to Iran, the British people responsible, they're not going to give Trump airspace to use. And before you know, the French people have come out. But the truth is that the Trump is not interested in all those things. Now I'm talking about the American plan. When I say Trump. So there's more that is going on than what they bombard us with. So the crown, when I say they won't replace, because the British system now like 3 steps, just like America, the House of Rep, Senate, and the presidency. So the British get the royalty, they get the House of Lords, then the House of Commons. The majority of the House of Lords now like appointed people. Then we have the heritage position. Those will be saying that they are great, whatever. And it's just they come into the parliament, but because of that. So all that is what they are pushing the current prime minister to change. So it's going to happen. So giving out the royalty, see Andrew as a pawn that has been captured. So they are trying to make sure they affect every other person. Because even the king, the king position is on demand. So there's more going on than most of what they're actually making us to believe. After all, now let's talk about the Nigerian situation, for instance. We have America on ground. How come killing and everything is still going on? They don't know. They are here because of intelligence, right? So they know they get intelligence all over again. So we are seeing a raw power changing hands. You understand? The world is changing, and of course, those as it's changed, some people will lose, and they don't want to give it up easily like that. So there's so much going on. So I'm not saying the Epstein file is not important. I'm just saying the Epstein file is existing for a reason, to compromise people who will be as a roadblock or something. Now it's a weapon. Right? If you look at it, it's a weapon they are using. If you look at the individuals that have been naming another kind of person, you know that if then the tension that you think is happening in America, right? Since the first civil war in 1863, why another war never happened since then? Right? They know they get challenged. They always find one way or the other to carry out the revolution within this. I'm talking about the elites, right? They always find one way to carry out revolution among themselves. Although some people, most time, some group of people, they always be at the receiving end. If you go back to the 70s, if you go back to what led to Jim Crow, the compromise was the black community. They give the southern states their pretty much what that they do, didn't save it back to do. So there's always a compromise. So what you are seeing, the demography, the work, all this, don't worry. Now American artificial consult, if you want to see it from that angle, they put them together. Right? And those who plan it together, the manuscript is very much in existence.
Yeah, there will be a compromise. The question is the compromise will
then have to work.
Maybe not, but the compromise will have to do something that has not been done before, where a population can be replaced by another population peacefully. It would have to do that, and that is where if I ask you not to go and look for any population in the world that has happened to, you will not find it where it happened peacefully, and that's what America is going through. You can't run away from it, and there are people that are saying it. I don't know why you are here telling us this is a joke. This is not a joke. This is serious.
Hold on. I don't tell you I say if it go happen now, this place will first happen first. I know they don't say no go happen. Anything can happen. I know we can wake up tomorrow morning. It's the different thing entirely we are talking about. So I know they don't say it's a certain that it's not going to happen. I am just saying the way they put it as if it will happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen tomorrow. If there's anything civil that is going to happen within the Western civilization, trust me, it will happen in Europe first.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
What you are more likely to see in Europe is nation fighting nations, but civil war within nations in Europe not very likely at this stage. If they've not gotten to that point where because Europe is Europe is not like America. Why
would you think it'll happen in the United States way before Europe?
Because Europe is not facing a demographic change so soon.
Neither is America. I hear you. I hear you say quite a bit that, and I do understand why you would say. And you want to settle down, or what are you saying?
I say Ovie should settle down so I can hear what you're saying.
Okay. Go ahead.
I do understand what you're saying, and I understand you're probably getting that from the media. And when, for example, the immigration crackdown started, that was the premise that they were putting out as the reason why this was happening, and justifiably so, right? Because the premise was that, oh, well, there's a demographic shift. And they also talked about it. They complained, this was a worry, this was a concern that their population was dwindling and they weren't reproducing as much. So I get why you think that this is the reason why such could happen in America. But America is still overwhelmingly Caucasian and white. So I don't think we're going to have that problem anytime soon. In fact, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you live in Europe, I think I would lean to Ovie's position that it is more likely that it will happen in Europe before the United States. Civil strife within an internal entity, not a country-to-country conflict. And why do I say that? I say that because of, for example, mass migration from Asia and other parts of the world into Europe, which they're complaining about. Now, how true is it and which part is exaggerated, like them saying Muslims are trying to take over? I think I will defer to you on that because I do not live there. But again, I'm based on talks with colleagues and news sources, the internet, and things of that nature. Now, if you say that's wrong, I would like to hear. Is he off again? He's off again. But yeah, that if you say now again, so yes, I would defer to your position, and I would like to hear why you would say you are not facing more of a demographic shift as opposed to what you think we are facing right here in the United States.
Thank you for that question, Bibi. That's a good one.
Hold on, because the UK is made up of 80-something%. I think maybe
Europe. I said not just
Europe is the same. See, Europe. One of the reasons why Europe will endure far longer is because they have outlets. Look at now. They have outlets of purging elites. Look at what is going on in the UK because of the Epstein file. More people have suffered in the UK than in America. And if it happens, if they release something in France again, they will suffer. Germany, they will suffer. They have outlets. America doesn't seem to have outlets. I
don't understand what you mean.
Hold on, Tunanja. Europe is Europe today because of America is holding it together, and it's over. Within the next 10 years, they will disintegrate one by one. So this outlet you are talking about, this life you guys are living, this free healthcare, all these things, is coming to an end within the next 2-3 years. There's a problem. You are not looking at. You are not looking at. You
guys are in denial. You are not seeing what is happening.
Can you explain? I'm confused what you mean by. I'm confused what you mean by outlet. So can you explain?
When the people, I hate calling them masses, the people themselves of a nation feel
like the masses. Why do you think?
If the people feel like their elites are not listening to them and their elites are corrupt and they are just completely deaf to them, especially European countries, they react very, very quickly and their elites know it. So they have outlets. In other words, if something happens, even the elite are willing to sacrifice their own. Look at how they are sacrificing Andrew very, very quickly. Do
you know that it's America that is actually changing the elite of Europe and they unpick them one by one?
Let's try to still talk here. Let's try to still talk.
So
that's what I'm saying. So they are the one that actually decide who.
No, that's a different thing altogether. I'm trying to explain the dynamics of why European countries will be more stable than this in America. European countries, we've had the Greek crisis, and even the Greeks didn't descend into chaos. We've had this in the Italian debt crisis, all kinds of different things, and yet they endure. And remember, the European countries have European Union. They have means of supporting themselves, and they also have an independent nuclear power that people like to underestimate. Do you know that the French have a better record at conflict than even America? Do you know that? Hold on.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm trying to say, what are we talking about? Are we talking, because let me just try to say something. What are we talking about? Are we talking about, I understand. What are we talking about? Are we talking about why Europe is more, or why Europe is less likely to go to a civil war as opposed to America? Or are we talking about the viability of countries in conflict? Because that's what I'm getting from you. So what are we talking about? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm saying why Europe is less likely to go into a civil war. And remember, people keep saying this. They forget that the European population.
Sorry, I didn't say Europe. I mentioned individual countries. Sorry, I didn't say the whole Europe. Yes. I mentioned Britain, France, and Germany.
Even the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has more white population today than they even had in 1960 and 1970. The idea that you think these people are dead is a big misnomer. In the context of America, that's the one I keep telling you. I've looked at the numbers, and even the census reveals that the foreign-born, children born to foreign parents that are non-white, they are more now than the white ones already. They are going to grow. When they grow, they will have children. Those children are probably going to be non-white. They are not going to be white, as you call them. So they will be the majority already. They know that. That's why they are acting now. This thing started well before the second term, maybe even before the first time, because I listen to all these right-wing Americans. They say all these things, or they say it openly. You know,
wait, now you are driven to America. You are driven to America. You make a very good point.
I'm talking about America.
But when I say civil war will happen in Europe and in Britain first, it's not because of their demography. That's not why I said it will happen first. That's nothing to do with demography. The economy. I'm talking about the economy. I don't care about the demography. I'm talking about where the money is.
What aspects of the economy?
What aspects of the economy?
Yeah, huh? Why would you think the economy would cause
because they are just beginning to realize that the whole economy is about 70% of it is run by American company. Literally 70% of the employee work for America, and that's the bargaining chip for America. So as I said that the Royal is coming down, that's one of the pressure that is coming in. So I am not saying
I think you are.
I'm not saying it's going to be natural.
At the map, Ovie, let me correct some of your narrative. You are looking at the map. The map that is supporting America today is because of Europeans accept it. Make no mistake. The map, the Mackinda map, is not European map. It's an Anglo-Saxon map.
What does Europeans have?
Let me finish what I'm saying. It's an Anglo-Saxon map. I don't think Western Europeans have that much of a grievance with the Russians. If you think America is going to turn, hold on. If you think America can turn, America knows it's not in its interest. If they turn against Europe, Europe can pivot go with Russia, and America will be left in the cold. That is why America does. That's why they created NATO.
I'm telling you what is happening now. I'm not saying a hypothetical issue or what will happen in the future. I'm telling you the development as of today. Yeah, I'm not saying so I say watch out. Within the next 10 years, Europe will disintegrate one by everybody go answer in Papa name, right? And that's where the problem begins. Yes.
No, it won't.
Okay, we'll see. Let's let the future decide. I'm not going to argue, Pastor. Let's let the future.
What you don't understand is that you keep making the mistake. You don't know Europe. I would advise you to see Europe as a nation right now. Europe is like European Union. Remember when America tried to strengthen this in Greenland, you saw the French sent troops there. The French are a nuclear power. America can't do anything to the French. This thing you think that America is some kind of Thanos. You're going to find out the hard way. And I don't think America is that stupid. That's why Marco Rubio came to Europe and tried to remind them they are brothers. Because if they do that, if America does that, America is done.
Let me back my stand up. Let me back my stand up, right? there's 80% chance that what you are saying is going to happen. So we are going to find out very soon, right? Who run the weapon show on this planet Earth? It's going to happen. This one is not even longer that we are
No, it's
wishing.
not going to
There's
happen.
80%.
America is not going to turn against Europe. America can't. If they do,
You know,
America is dead.
do you believe that they are going to strike? Hold on.
America will
Do you believe that they will strike? Iran will be struck? Do you believe that Iran will be struck soon?
I won't be surprised that I predicted an event like that. America has to
What
go to
is,
a big
hold on.
war, or they will have a
Hold on,
civil war.
Waiting Turkey talk. What was Turkey response? That if it's Trump, they are moving in. That is London speaking. So
The
there
UK
is
too.
80%. Hold on now.
UK is saying that they're not going to. Okay. Go ahead,
Everybody will soon find out. I promise you. But what a strike!
There's nothing to find out. You see, you are
Hold
talking
on
about
now.
things you don't fully understand.
Hold on first,
You don't fully
now, so
understand.
hold on first. Now, so when I talk for Venezuela, right? Now everybody quiet, Abi. Now, and I will tell you.
What has
And I will
happened in
tell.
Venezuela? What has happened in Venezuela that you're talking about? What has happened?
Oh my God!
You took a president. What has happened in Venezuela?
I think, that's why I think even Bibi actually said it out loud. We should follow narrative on the news and headline.
What has happened in Venezuela?
What did make America go into Venezuela in the first place? That's what happened. They got their interest. They got their wish. That's the most important thing.
They didn't get that much of a wish. That same man that they took out wanted the same thing, wanted to give them all these things that they are asking for. What are you talking about?
Forefather. I said, don't worry.
You are the one that is falling for the hokey pokey. The guy that they removed wanted to give them all these things that they got now. What are you talking about?
And they still end up removing him.
Yes.
And what was the message?
The message was that we can do as we please, whether we like you or not. See, my point is that
to the neighbors that hold on. So everybody that is watching, fuck around and find out.
Yes, that is the message. Believe me, when they struck Iran, that was the message too.
Hold on. Has anybody fuck around since then? No. Now, hold on.
Iran, well, statistically, yes, people actually are.
Who?
Europe said.
Well, for Europe, Finland, France, to a little extent. Then the impending conflict in the Middle East right now, China and Russia basically violating the agreements they've had with non-interference agreements they've had. Can I finish?
No, I agree with you. Let me land my point. Then I'll give you the stage. I'm not disagreeing with you. What you said, that all these response were there, right? But the American planners have made it clear, right, that going into 21st century, there's going to be two powers in the world: the Pentagon and everybody else's opinion. So it doesn't matter when anybody says, they can say whatever they want, right? Action matter. Now, Iraq will be struck. I believe they will take the man in Iraq, they will take him the way they take Maduro. I'm leaning towards that.
That would be impossible.
Okay, we'll see. But if that is not the case, Iran will be struck literally. Then let's see who is going to respond.
Well, people,
what you don't understand, you are not seeing the big. You are looking at the individual battles. You are not looking at the war. America is losing the war, and they know it. You know how the Bible says the devil is prowling and looking for flesh to consume? That's what America is doing right now. It's lashing out. But you are thinking that lashing out is going to lead them to glory. It won't.
Let me ask you a question.
So you, Jerry,
if
to America, the war has ended. That one are old war. So go ahead.
If America was to strike Iran right now, do you think it would be a benefit to the United States, or do you think it would be to the detriment of America?
For the goal at hand, it will be to the benefit of the United States.
What's the goal?
The goal is to loosen up Iran.
To loosen up? What do you mean loosen up?
the interest of the British and the interest of the French is the one that is copying the Iran together to actually be able to enforce. As I said, that's why I use the word globalist, right? Because all this thing is confusing when you say the British, the America. So there are two sections, and you understand that very well: the globalists and the nationalists. So the globalists hold in Iran, it is what they use in sanctioning people like Russia in order to pass their oil and all those kind of things. So they want to lose that from a geopolitical entanglement, so that the
Who
Iranian
wants to
people will,
loosen it?
that's what I'm saying. That's what the negotiation is about.
Okay,
Stop
wait.
listening.
Let me.
They are saying, okay, this is what
Just hear me out. Because I'm going based on the words you're using.
no, let me be
So you
specific.
said
Let me be specific.
the
Let me be
global.
specific. Let me be specific. Trump wants the Iranian government to stop listening to the city of London and Paris. Geopolitically, if you understand what I mean. That's what they want.
How?
If they stop listening to them, that nothing will happen.
What do you mean? But what do you mean listening? What do you mean listening to them? If just hear me out. Hear the question out. If Russia, if the United States and most of Western Europe or all of Western Europe plus Israel are on one side already and are sworn enemies of Iran, how is Iran now beholden to Britain and Paris to the angst or
what?
To the irritation of the United States? How? I don't get it.
Beyond all the rhetoric, what is really at stake? Business, right? Resources, right? Nobody actually care how you worship, how you look like. It's about the resources. And the American interest is not about they have to get the resources. No, but they want to be in the position to tell you where this go and where this should not go. Again, when I say American, I'm talking on that angle. I'm talking about the nationalist angle. They want to deal with the world individually, not the way the world was. That's what I'm pushing back on Nigeria. So the interest, there's a business, there's a business interest in Iran, which actually control how the government function, because now money will make your government function. Right, so there's a London, the city of London has a business interest in Iran. So is the British people. That's
Can you expound? Can you expound? Exactly? That's what I'm trying to get to. So can you expound on this business interest that you say the French and the British have with Iran?
Let me use Nigeria as an example.
No, use Tehran. No, use Tehran as an example because we keep going off tangent.
It's the same thing, right? It's the same, right? What is the remoting valve of the United States over Nigeria?
What is the what?
How, as in, what is the engine room of control? What is their main interest? What do they hold on Nigeria? What is the boss they hold on Nigeria? Is the oil. Chevron, Texaco, and all that. That is that. So they tell you how much you should produce, who you should sell to, who you should not sell to. Right?
Okay.
Good. The same thing, right? The British interest, the investment interest in Iran is largely in the hands of the globalists. I'm talking about the oil investment there, because again, if you put where Iran, the geopolitical location, so the men in power, because it is that oil business that is actually sustaining them. So they listen to those guys who control those oil than what the nationalists are saying.
So
the
are you saying,
in order to cripple the globalist power, you have to disentangle Iran from their control.
Are you what you're telling us is that British petroleum conglomerates, i.e., British Petroleum, right, have dealings with the Iranian government, whereby they control how much oil comes out of Iran? Is that what you're saying?
Who to settle, really? Who not to settle?
I don't get it. Iran is under sanctions. from the West.
Let me read
No,
the
that's why I say
entire
understand the nationalist and the global. The West is divided into globalist and nationalist, right? You understand that?
Okay, you are now bloviating everywhere.
Okay, I think you're going way off.
Hold on. The West is divided into two.
Hold on. You are eating up
Nationalist
time.
and the globalist.
No.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
don't make me mute you. You are eating up time because in reality, the British interest in Iran barely exceeds 400 million dollars. That is a drop in the ocean for the British. They don't. It's not significant to them. The Iranians are under sanction. Can you imagine the British having this in business with Iran when they are fighting Hamas? It's just unheard of. Or no, it's not going to be happening. So I don't know what you
like that.
The reason why. Hold on. Because you never say it yourself for some reason. I don't know why you are shy of it. Maybe you are one of those Nigerians where you know full well the person that wants that war with Iran is Israelis. We just had an American ambassador to Israel say that Israel has the right to almost all the land in the Middle East, and if an American ambassador to Israel,
Mike Huckabee, he did say it to Tucker Carlson.
He couldn't get himself to say England has the right to exist because he says Israel has the right to exist. But he couldn't get himself to say even the Irish has the right to exist.
Even America.
He couldn't even say that. And he came to the defense of Israel in spite of America at one point. Some of the things that these people do, and you don't even see that the country is decaying. I don't know.
But you still haven't. Josh, you still haven't answered the question I asked. Anyways, like, is it going to be to the detriment of America or to its benefit? You said to its benefit, and I'm still trying to find out how is it going to be to the benefit of America if America attacks Iran anytime from now, as we're all expecting.
That's okay. This is a long question to answer. I'm trying to look for this.
It's not a long question. How is it to the benefit of America if America attacks Iran?
Because you actually have to understand the location of Iran, the interest that go through that place. What is the interest of the Kremlin instant for Iran? They have interest. They're one part of Iran that could easily bypass all this bullshit that the globalists are putting before them. Right, so it's just because the map is not in front of me. That's why I'm using that. Then
just say it. I know the map. I think Forefathers knows the map. So just say it.
Now, if they're actually able to untangle Iran, right, and the Russians have that way, do you really think that the Trump-led America don't want to do business with Russia?
That has no bearing on the question I asked. You haven't answered the question.
I just told you the interest that the current regime of Iran is entangled in. They are trying to lose it. So I don't understand. So you that is trying to lose something.
You keep saying globalist. Okay, let me try this. Let me try this for the benefit of the viewers. If you were to say the globalist in a nutshell, who are these globalists?
Who are these globalists? Those that want the world to still go on the way it is, the global trade and everything to go the way it is, and those that want you want individual name. It doesn't.
That would help. I'm not asking for that. I think I would assume this is like some sort of secret society. But if you do have individual names, I think that would also be a benefit to all of us. But if you can, a general description of who these globalists are.
Where is George Soros' interest?
I don't know. You tell me.
Because that's one of them. I thought you know. Well, that's why I said.
So George Soros. Are you telling us now that George Soros is somehow in control of the happenings in Iran?
That's why you are trying me to go through the footprint. It doesn't make sense when you are mentioning name. It's a network.
That's why I said it doesn't matter. I said it doesn't matter. I said
hold on.
I did say wait. I did say I understand when you say globalist. when we all hear this term globalist, we will assume it's some sort of secret society, just like we say bankers or industrialists, the people we suspect of running the world. But if you don't know these people on an individual basis, that's fine too. But what I'm just saying is, instead of throwing out, let me land, sir. So instead of throwing out vague terms, I would like us to have a conversation so we can also stay on topic, and for the benefit of the viewers, we all know what we're talking about.
When you ask me that question, that's why I say it's going to be a long answer, because it doesn't make sense me just giving headlines and names and all that. That's not how.
Okay, it's not a hard question saying how is it going to benefit? How is it to the benefit? How is it to the benefit of the United States if Iran is attacked? It is not a long convoluted question. You can say these are the reasons.
I started by first asking you, you understand the dichotomy between the nationalists and the globalists? You said yes. So, I mean, you didn't tell me.
I didn't say that. I didn't say yes. I never said that. I said explain what you mean by that.
So you don't understand the difference between the two. Is that what
that's why saying? I said when we throw out these terms, wait. So we don't let's not muddle up the conversation. When we throw out these terms, especially with regards to the topic on the table right now, which is Iran, and subbing from that is the impending attack by the United States. And you say, well, globalists, nationalists, blah, blah, blah. Who are these globalists and who are these nationalists? We can't just throw out vague terms. We're going to confuse people. I am confused.
Okay. So I'm sorry that I am, let me bring it down to your level, right? That's what
Thank you. Dumb it down. I'm dumb, so please dumb it down, please.
Let me bring it down to your level. In America, there are two contentious ideologies: the globalists and the nationalists. Right? The globalists believe that everybody should be able to, work, live, read, and relate together. To put it in a layman term, right? There should not be borders. Everything should be live as one. If for me to actually bring it down to, unless you don't understand. It's too.
Okay, let's go back to Tehran. We don't need America's history. Let's go back to Tehran.
Now you see why I am using the term I'm using, because I believe I'm talking to somebody who understands the term.
You say you want to listen. If you say if you want to dumb it down, because I'm dumb, I'm ignorant, right? So I don't understand this thing. But I'm saying, listen. Let's just hear me out. What is the benefit to the United States? Now, let me help you a little bit. And again, this is coming from someone that's dumb. So let me help you a little bit. Maybe you can go, if you want to say this is the benefit, maybe you can go in terms of, for example, security, the economy, geopolitical influence. It's not a long, convoluted, difficult thing to speak about. So again, what is the benefit? What is the benefit of America attacking Iran? How does that help us? It's a very simple question.
This is geopolitics. This is history unfolding. History is pretty much the changing of events, right? You want me to see it from the angle you are seeing it from.
Let me answer the question. Let me answer the question.
Hold on first.
You are not answering it. You have been doing it for the last 20 minutes now. No, you are running 3 hours down. Only 3 hours down.
What are you talking about? Una, they ask me the same question and they give Una the same answer, but you guys want me to come down to your level. I come down, Una go up again. No, hold on now. Hold on. Sorry,
let me speak too now. Let me speak.
Go ahead.
So for my take is that if America attacks Iran and stops, there's no gain, zero gain from America. It's rubbish. It's just going to make America look like a bully, attacking people needlessly. That's what it's going to make America. But if America is able to defeat, remove the leader
You know who get networks have you the drag.
You're persistent, sir.
Hold on. I don't know what is going on. What are you laughing at?
Nah, he's messing with you. He said your network went out and you try to talk geopolitics, you don't even have network.
You don't get network, you won't argue. Why?
Shut up.
He was messing with you.
Go ahead.
Don't worry now. So my the point I was making is that this year internet is just annoying. So, but the point I'm making is that if they can take him out completely and replace him with their own kind of puppet, then they can use him as leverage against Russia or China. But the idea that America will be trading with and working with Russia somehow and it's going to work out. No, what is going to happen is that if America does that, Russia will become the superpower. And because remember, America is all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. Russia is inside Europe. One side of Europe is Western Europe. The other side is China. Russia will be, and Russia is a massive country with a lot of resources. So America can afford. That's why the Makinda thesis existed in the first place. They can't let that happen.
If America attacks Iran, Ovi, and Iran shoot again, let's remember America is way stronger than Iran, overwhelmingly. In a normal battle, they will destroy Iran. We know that. But if they miscalculate and say, for example, Iran sinks an aircraft carrier and 4,000 people die, or they hit the base in Basra or in Qatar and another 2,000 servicemen die, what do you think that will do to the United States on the home front? Forget that, right? For 1 second. Now, what do you think that will do to America on a global scale? America is finished because the invincibility is gone. Now everybody, China, everybody, meaning the other powers, know that this is the way we can beat these people that always try to bully everybody with sanctions, with embargoes, with threats of regime change. So this could be pretty disastrous. I don't see any benefit that this will serve the United States in any way. And this is my opinion, and this is other experts' opinion. We don't see. I guess people, especially when you realize there's no point of attacking Iran. Iran is not a threat to the security of the United States. They're not harming us in any way. We're doing this on behalf of Israel. This could go south really, really, really fast and bad too.
What is that animal or insect that goes around when a parasite goes into his brain? Then it will climb up. I think it's a caterpillar. It will climb up to the top of the plant so that birds will eat it, so that it will go through its cycle. So this is how America is behaving. America is behaving like a country that is captured and being made to sabotage its own self. It's like it's really, really bad, and going after Iran the way they are doing is not the way to go about it, clearly.
You just said two things, right? That actually, that is going on, right? The American system, the structures have been compromised. That's why Trump is elected, to take care of that. And he's doing that as we speak, right, on the home front. But talking about, if then strike Iran, Iraq is not a threat. No country is a threat to the United States of America as it stands. But you need to actually go back history. The Western world has never conquered anywhere, take over anywhere by way of rhetoric or by way of invention or persuasion. No, it has always been war. It has always been blood from the beginning to today. That is not going to change. So the idea now is they say, okay, what benefit? You guys are seeing it from a very lean, very narrow point of view. What are we going to get tangibly? It is not about what you are going to get tangibly now. When I say that place, the interest, Iran are like valve that a lot of things go through, right? And the way the regime is, a lot of interest that is supporting the regime. That's why the thing is still there. The same element that captured the institution in America or in the Western world are the same elements that are doing the same thing. But this is the final straw.
Wait. The same elements that captured America are also in control of Iran?
Institution. People are taking advantage of the institution to further
like
their
which institutions?
So when I talk say globalist now, you go tell me say, oh, all this.
No, that's very vague. If you were to wait, you hold on.
I want
if you were to don't give me names. We've tried it all along. So if you ask me, for example, and you said, who are these people that you say have taken over the United States government, that have infiltrated the United States government? Because when you make that statement, to me, like everybody else understands, I would say automatically Israel, APAC, the Jewish lobbies. This is what I would understand is that. I'm not going to go vague and say. I'm not going to be vague and say the globalists or the nationalists. Like, if we can be specific, that'll help.
I get your point. You know why I talk like this at time? Because I believe we are building on previous conversation. We don't talk about this thing for ages. So I believe we are building on that. I told you guys, now when they see Tel Aviv, Israel as all that, it is a tool on Pentagon, United States government hand. In the first place, this state was put together by the British Empire in what? 45? So if people put you together, now they
47.
Hold on, let me finish now. I'm telling you, that's why
I didn't argue. You said 45, I said 47. That's what it said.
Okay, thank you. So that's why I say I did build on my argument. I know they go back. I don't from jump the word jump. I know they see Israel as all that. Not two. It's like a vessel. Why would they see them?
You don't see Israel as all that. The same Israel that is pushing the United States right now to go into a war. You don't see them as all that. If you see them as all that, when will it be? When they nuke half of the world, or when?
Hold on. I told you this before. We have this conversation before. There's what they call convergence of interest. The reason I'm supporting Monday Paholo is because I'm from Edo State and he's doing something for my village. He's actually carrying my interest out. That's why they support them. You understand? So you have to look at what is the convergence interest between these two people, right? If they their goal is to dominate the whole world, fine, that's their goal. So if the US sees somebody with that ambition and is in a place that they can use to carry an ambition, why not? That's how I see all these.
This is what I'll tell you. This is why I say you're very intelligent, but I think you tend to model up conversations a lot. And again, not an insult, but some people think faster. Their brains think very fast, faster than what comes out of their mouth. So hold on. You're the same one that told us about how the United States has been infiltrated.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So we do, if you, in one word, infiltrated by who?
See,
that's what.
All right,
no one word. All right, no one word. So let me just go on.
Hold
so if you were to ask, there's no one word.
No, it's one of those.
Let me give you one question. Let me give you one word. The globalist.
One word. Okay, good. So good. So globalist. So all right, good. So if you say globalist, I don't get what that means. I would assume it means like the bankers, which
so why are you looking for one word?
So which
why are you looking
is it
for
okay?
Fine.
Let me land, sir.
China is the globalist,
So if you say
I tell you one word, you say you no agree.
I didn't say any. I did not say all of that. I said good, noted. So I'm trying to explain what I would understand. It's okay to listen to people, sir.
I'm listening.
When you say globalist, I would assume, if you ask me one word, I would say Israel. I could say APAC. I'll take that because it all ties back to who we know now has infiltrated the United States government, which was the question. That's all I'm saying. So now,
no, but hold on now. Sorry. You are trying to toss me against what I stand for. I say right from day one, I don't regard Israel as not regarded, so I can never use them as.
So let me land. We hear you already. We hear you. Then it's noted. Nobody. I personally don't care, and I'm not disputing. I take what you're saying. I respect it. I don't care. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to say expound on it. That's it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because it keeps throwing me off. So if we're trying to figure out if America has been infiltrated, and you say globalists, and we're saying it's Israel, I got thrown off. Let's try something.
Let me bring
Please, let's stop talking over each other. It throws me off a lot. I'm not used to that kind of discussion.
Bibi, you know, I wanted to use Nigeria as an example. There's a reason.
You have said a lot and you have not said that much, to be fair. You just keep going left, right.
Exactly, because you guys are asking me one question, the same question all the time.
Why should we ask you one question? Let's all get our own ideas through.
Jide is also, is also up there. It's also up there in this conversation. So let Jide go.
The problem we are facing here in the world, the question was about which nation poses a lot of threats to the world right now.
No. What is the pressing issue? What's the pressing issue? That's what I asked.
And in my mind, that was your question. But in my mind, which nation poses the greatest risk? And it's the most important issue, too. And I feel like it's the US as it stands right now. There are too many things going on within the US right now that it doesn't, any one of them could implode. From the eyes, if the next woman eyes shoot in the face, I don't know where that one is going to end. And then in the case of Epstein, if any more stuff comes out, people are going to end up on the streets, and more is going to come out.
What do you mean is more?
More evidence will come out among the 3 million this thing that is still remaining. And when those come out,
as you know it now,
in the next 10 years,
as you know it now, just give us a list of some of the things that you know that has come out. And I'm only asking because I don't see why people are not on the street already. So as you know it now, what things do you know have come out that is still making people be like, maybe we want to see something worse?
I think the way they are reacting right now, they need a trigger. Because sometimes I've said it before. I was having a conversation with somebody that this thing could be triggered in Europe, it could trigger in one town, it might even be triggered any part of the world. And one person will just trigger it, and maybe that will be the time when people will just, will say enough. Because I've seen some people going online and they are telling you that they are already organizing. They are feeling like this. They are saying this is not political. And when people start saying it's not political anymore, that is about good and evil, you are in a big problem here. They are completely broken the this, and I have to give Candace Owens credit for some of this. She started this a long time ago. They have already she's broken the party line. She didn't care whether she was on the side of Trump anymore. She was like, these people are evil. They are slaughtering children, all this stuff and everything. And now, even worse things have come out.
But she spits on her people. Candace Owens is a force of contradiction.
No. Yeah. She said, see, nobody's perfect. But on this one...
Now you go in marry, what do you expect? I don't know why
her morality on this one is correct. You can't just sit there and pretend as if you don't see evil occurring. And as a matter of fact, people like Candace Owens, you don't like them because of this kind of stuff they criticize our community. It's not because they hate us, because they also believe that some of the things we are doing, we have to take responsibility. He may get it wrong. Who cares? The point is that...
I don't understand. How does she spit on her people?
No, she spits on our community sometimes. Like,
I said how?
Justification of
hold on. She's not George Floyd. Hold on. You don't answer him. So the point I'm making is that like when she talks about George Floyd, she focuses on the ills and the negative aspects of his character instead of the fact of the incident that occurred to him. People like her, they have been lamenting about our community, the state of... It's like, when you talk about Nigeria, some people will not talk about anything else other than the shabbiness of Nigeria. Well, they will just keep talking about the politician, no matter what happened to us. Like America could attack us today, they will still say, yes, we deserve it. Nigeria is rubbish. that is how people like on its own things. So, but when it comes to the Iraq war, very, very early, she didn't even whimper. She just said, if you are killing children, like, no, me, I'm not into it. She started turning on them. She started turning on Macron's wife and all the rest. So, and she broke the rank. And before you know it, Tucker Carlson is out too. Once Tucker Carlson came out, I knew that something weird is going on. Because the way Tucker Carlson came out, he came out openly and just called Israel out. Straight up. That's the first thing he did. He was like, hey,
because they got tired of the control and the bullying.
Yeah, he just called Israel out. Boom, boom. Straight up. Since then, he's not looked back. And the whole system now is reeling. And there are consequences already affecting the UK. America is just holding it together. And that's why I think America could implode. Because they are not punishing anybody. And they are driving the people crazy. When somebody is doing something, you know how a good child, some of that child is misbehaving and slapping them, and the teacher is keeping quiet. The child keeps slapping them. That child could retaliate, but they didn't retaliate. The child is keeping quiet. When the child lashes out, he could go after the person that is slapping slapping the child, and go after the teacher too. And that's what I mean. Yeah, because it's like you are watching.
Your American knowledge is so funny.
Hold on. They're watching the students. You are watching the students slap me. No. This is not America. This is not America. You see, when I talk,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You don't understand. This is fundamental human nature, or even animal nature. Let's put it that way. So Americans are taking. They are just waiting whether the system is going to do anything. And I get the feeling that more information is going to come out, or something could trigger them. Like I said, I don't think America can take another lady being shot in the face by ICE. There's a reason why the system is that tense. It's not good. And I can tell you people that the omens are not right. But that said, let's leave it for now. Let's bring in our eminent Jide to join us on this conversation, because this is more of a geopolitical conversation really. And Jide, what do you make of all the dynamics? Because today I found out that Epstein, they were going nigger hunting. They go shoot, and these people, if that is real, and I think the other part of
what do you mean if that is real?
I have to qualify it now. Allegedly, I have to allegedly it because I don't have concrete evidence. So, but I believe
that's an normal thing now. That was normal. That was a part of history of America. So it's not be saying
no, we're talking about something happening how many years ago.
This guy at America, obviously they see me today. Nothing changed now. They see like that.
No. They are doing it to white people too. It's not only black people they are doing it to. So let's not mix the whole thing up. Jide, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, forefathers. Good to see everyone on the panel, and greetings to everyone listening. Good to hear from everyone. There's a lot going on in the Middle East. First of all, like I would say that a lot of my analysis is come from sources, valid sources, like I've said it before on this platform. Sometimes when I talk, it's not like I believe I'm claiming I know it all. I don't know it all, right? I sometimes speculate, and some of those speculations become correct, But a lot of the things I say, a lot of my analysis is coming from the original source, which is foreign policy documents. A lot of things have already been planned, what are they calling it? Sources, Western sources about their plans, a lot of documents, think tank documents that I can send on this platform for everyone that is interested to read. Before the end of this show, I'm going to send a document. It's called The Path to Persia. I repeat, The Path to Persia. It was documented in 2009 by the Brookings Institution. And it was actually this institution that the organization that was part of the Brookings Institution, they are in Israel. They already have a long-term plan for Iran. Now, let me now analyze the issue. Currently, like my brother has said, Christians for Epstein have said, Okpebolo have said, there are a lot of things that they've said that I agree with. Now, those I don't really agree with, but I think they've already hit the nail on the head. But the point is, long-term, this is going to be a long war. It's not going to be like the 12-day war. And the US, in collaboration with Israel and their allies, they are preparing for a long war. They've tried every measure possible. Sanctions, color revolution, using rioters to destabilize the country. It has failed. Blockade, so many things. It has failed. Now they are now considering military intervention. Now, having said that, the fact that they're praying for military intervention, aircraft carriers are now across the shore of Israel. A lot of military assets by the US, the Lincoln aircraft, General Ford aircraft, so many military assets. We can mention many lists. Now, the way Iran has been able to present itself is, we do not want war. However, if you attack us, our reaction is going to be devastating. So what is currently happening is, the goal of the US government and Israel is to cause regime change and put a pliant regime in power so that they can break away Iran into different, what are they calling it, provinces. Regions, exactly. So that Israel can control the entirety of that province and region. Because Iran stands in the way of Israel in terms of Israel's dominance. Iran stands in the way of the West. Ever since the 1979 revolution, Iran supports proxies, for the Palestinian cause. They support Hamas, they support Ansarullah, they support the Houthis, they support Hezbollah, they support many of these proxies, resistant proxies, which is against Israel. They are resistant forces. The only way they know they can decapacitate their enemies, Israel, is to finish Iran. And that is what Donald Trump is using. Now, for them to carry out this operation, they need a political narrative. And the political narrative is they will develop nuclear weapons. And that narrative has been developed since after that revolution. Because this is not the first time Iran has uranium. Iran has always had uranium, right? After that proxy war with Iraq in the 1980s, they've been using that narrative, particularly the Israeli government, the far-right Israeli government, that, Iran is going to develop nuclear weapons. Because they need a political narrative as a pretext to attack that country, just like they've done in other parts of the world. They use an enemy pretext. Iran is not a democratic country. It's an Islamic regime. It's a terrorist regime, right? Meanwhile, Iran serves as their threat. So now, how does Iran stand in their way, apart from the fact that Iran has so much power? Iran serves as an axis for Russia and China's interests. And the long-term goal is to attack Russia and China. Now, Iran as an axis, Iran serves, it does as a logistical hub to Russia and also as a logistical hub for China. And also, China has the power to purchase oil, hydrocarbons from Iran at cheap costs. So they're trying to cut off and contain Russia and China. Now, because Russia and China know that they cannot afford to lose Iran, because when they lose Iran, they will be fully contained by US and Israel. They are now supporting Iran through intelligence, surveillance, because Russia and China is not like America that have, what are they calling it? They don't have, what are they calling it? They don't have the full length of overstretching themselves. It's only US that has the biggest military in the world to overstretch itself in all over the world with military base, with intelligence. Russia and China do not have that. That's why they can go and bomb Venezuela, and Russia and China may have limitations in going to intervene. But the point I'm making is, Iran is a now or never for Russia and China. They need to do everything to protect Iran, because if Iran falls, they will be further isolated. And what that means is that their transportation and logistical hub that will benefit their economy in the Eurasia will be broken down, because Azerbaijan is a client state to America. Also, Armenia too has been compromised. So the Iran should not fall. So now Russia and China needs to supply military support for Iran. So right now, they need to, the goal is regime change in Iran. However, Iran, despite the economic sanctions, which is what Nigeria needs to learn from, despite the almost 50 years of economic sanctions, Iran has stood the test of time. They've been able to protect their people from different external forces. First, it was Iraq under Saddam Hussein. Second, it was terrorists, ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Third is Israel. Fourth is US. Almost 50 years of sanctions. And they're still able to develop military assets to protect themselves. That is something we should learn. Instead of us begging America to come and help us, we can be like Iran. And we don't even have economic sanctions like Iran. But you know one thing about Iran, why this war may be dangerous? Iranian mentality is different from Nigerian mentality. Iranian people, they are willing to pay the price to liberate themselves. Their people and their governments, they are willing to pay the price, the biggest cost, which is probably potential loss of lives, potential loss of infrastructure. They are willing to pay the highest price, like people in Vietnam, like the people in China. They are willing to
No,
pay
because unlike Nigeria, they have a sense of nationhood, and you're talking about a country that is one of the earliest civilizations still existing on the planet. So this is not a country that just started in 1960. Right. This is something that has been Babylon, has been Persia, has been Mesopotamia, has been, well, Iraq, of course, but that region. But you said something that I want to ask a question on. You said America is preparing for a long war.
Yes.
What makes, because I take the opposite position, but what makes you think, based on what you're seeing, America is preparing for a long drawn conflict if it was to attack Iran today?
Yes, good. That's a very good question. I like that. Thank you so much for that question. The goal, based on, even if you look at the national security strategy of Donald Trump, the military goal is to create regime change. They don't want a full scale, they probably cannot afford a full scale damage like they've created in other countries. So they don't want to get bogged down. They probably want to do something like Venezuela. But the point is, Iran is not Venezuela. And they know that.
So Venezuela will not be a long drawn out conflict, though, if that's what they are looking to do.
I'm arriving at somewhere. What I'm saying, yeah, you're right. That's exactly the logic, right? But that's what I'm saying, that Iran is not Venezuela, and they know that. Because for that Venezuela cause to have happened, there was a traitor, and we know that currently, we see what's going on right now. There was a traitor within the political architecture of Venezuela. That was why what happened. Now, you don't have that with Iran. You don't have that. It is a different dynamic. So they know that any efforts to try to topple that regime would lead to subsequent reaction, because they've learned from the 12-day war. Remember the 12-day war happened, right? Remember that by the time that Iran had the escalatory ladder, they had to do everything to stop that war. You understand? Through the nuclear-based bomber that bombed one of their nuclear facilities. They had to stop that war.
No, that was all planned, but it was more like America intervened on behalf of Israel. Israel asked, we want to stop the conflict, and America intervened.
That's exactly the point. So they have been able to speculatively analyze that Iran may raise the escalatory ladder. They could destroy bases across the Middle East, right? So if they destroy, if they attack one aircraft and over 100 troops, that's raising the escalatory ladder, because they cannot look and stop. The war will continue. So they know that. And also, don't forget that they have proxies. They have proxies that also attack Israel. So that's what I mean. Unlike Venezuela, Venezuela do not have any proxy, right? So they have proxies.
But you thought the Chavistas were going to fight.
Like I said, that one, they had a traitor. They had everything. Right. Because if the thing is, if you have your military being compromised and willing to compromise and compromise and have deals with CIA so that your current president can be kidnapped, nothing is going to happen.
Right.
Did they make I ask you, within Venezuela they produce industrially, within anything at all?
I know.
Good analysis.
No, not natural resources. Within they produce, like, forget natural resources in terms of maybe industrial things and all that. Anyone?
I don't know.
That means country will not produce matches. Now they compare, say they get strategy against one. Like, I don't see who they deceive on ourselves. The same thing when they talk about Iran, you go soon find out.
No. You see, we've proven time and time again. Okay, I need to say something. This is very important. This point is very important. You see, remember ISIS and Al Qaeda? They were in the Middle East for a time. They actually took over Iraq. That was like almost 10 years ago. And Iran, through their proxies, and Russia, they were the ones that defeated those terrorists on the ground. I know I've always said it on this show. I've said it so many times on this show. The ISIS and Al Qaeda, they are not out of the blue. They are proxies, they are vestiges of US and Israel. They are vestiges, and because of that, they are not forgiving. I want everyone to think about it this way. Have ISIS and Al-Qaeda ever fought for Palestinians? They have never. They have never. But they kill their fellow Muslims. They try to what? Create instability. As this war is being prepared, they are sending prisoners to Syria. Remember, Syria was toppled last year. They are sending prisoners to Syria. Those prisoners are prisoners of ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and all those terrorist groups. Those prisoners, they will be released as part of that war to fight those proxies. This is going to be a big war. That's what I mean. It's going to be a grand regional war. And I want to say something. The cost of this war is going to be immense because Strait of Hormuz is going to be blocked. In fact, a few days ago, there were military drills by Russia, China, and Iran. Unprecedented military drills at the Strait of Hormuz.
Did they look at it from a different angle, right? You started by saying that America, they don't try to strike, that they withdraw. You are, not exactly how you said it, but you're alluding to that up till now within Israel. You're supposed to understand, you at times also consume military guys, their strategies, right? What America is doing, right? When then they go like that, say they won't strike today, they watch how the Iran military formation will react, move. As you rightly know, most of them, they're on that hill and other canteen. So every move, say, one bomb there today or next tomorrow, they watch how the military formation will react, right? So there's a reason they are going by sea and by air, right? I said, no, sir, I talk about before, say the way we they do acquire too much power for this world. The world has come to a point whereby these military guys are ready to test what they actually have in stock. Because somebody has to imagine when the First World War was to end empires, right? The British Hungarian, the Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and all that. The Second World War was to pretty much create that's where the creation of the nation state starts, is to align them, right? The Third World War is going to be the end of civilization. Civilization like the monarchy in Britain, the same monarchy in Iran that you're talking about, all those civilization, this war will end them. What I think, right? I'm not so that I'm not to say they actually push away what you are, say in terms of even strike at the Secretariat and all that. But I just believe that you are still measuring things for what I've always said, the whole world, right? This time around, because of the technology that everybody gets, nobody knows. I'm not going to talk American technology, but this era, before Donald Trump leave power, they will be texted, right? So we go see how reaction will be. It's not, the war is not going to last for that. It's not going to. I don't think it will last that long. It will be very swift because again, the technology that boats and every other country that's invented. Because the truth is that what we don't normally talk about is how actually most of these star point nations have been building their weaponry for the past almost 10 years. Right now, because the action done today, now everybody begins. So it is on. I 100% believe that there will be a strike. Now the reaction, right? Now I go accumulate where I go explode.
That was exactly. Now I thought they are planning for a long war. They don't want a long war, but they are planning for it.
Yes,
there are two different things. Exactly.
Killing, because that's why they lean towards the fact that they will just want to show strength. People say it's not possible to come out. They do what they do Maduro to the
no, it's not the guy Iran. No, it's
okay.
Not. It's not gonna happen. You see,
for some reason, I don't know. For some reason, me for my head, I think say now we took that because we never actually hear the details of what transpired in Venezuela.
I will ask you a question. No, we have the details. That's the point. We have the details. We clearly. Oh man, we have the details. No. That woman is a bitch. That woman was a traitor. That woman that is running the country. She's a traitor.
So not be that now normal be the one. Hold on, that part of China normal be that one.
They fucked up
but
that guy.
Hold on. Do you know they were a film crew on ground?
They fucked that guy up. Go on, that's
something. Do you know they were a film crew, like production crew on ground? That same day where the thing they happen. So that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So when I say we never know, the kind military artillery they actually use, we never know. So everybody just speculate. Everybody just speculate. You understand?
The thing is,
I think the way you talk sometimes, this is one of the biggest issues I have with your analysis. You act as if America is Thanos.
It is.
Have you ever considered that America, this in Iran, has their own things too? Have you ever considered that?
Iran, you're not going to take them if they actually want to face war to war. I swear to God, 5 hours. 5 hours.
Of course, America is Thanos.
Calm down. I want to ask you a question.
America that was falling from Taliban. Man, I don't know.
They did not defeat Afghanistan after 20 years.
That's why.
How come they did not defeat Yemen after? Hold on. How come they did not defeat Hamas?
Hold on, first. That's why I thought. The first thing first, you have to know why. Did they hold on first, right? You have to find out why they go where they go, what they do, right? So the word you they say to make them go there defeated. No, that's not the reason. That not be a problem with that. So once you understand the reason why they go Vietnam, why they stayed long for everywhere they, then you understand, okay, what is actually going on. It's not saying they go wipe these people out. No, it's beyond that. The longer they stay too, weapon had been experiments along the way. They say 20 years for Afghanistan. So just imagine the kind of innovation that took place between that period. All of those people leads to this
Without
time.
the innovation, they did not defeat Taliban.
Hold on now. You are not getting the point. What about the point is not to defeat them the way you want to say it?
See,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, go on.
You understand? I am not saying that's not the reason, right? But where I believe that the way I understand how these people they operate is beyond waiting with the seed and they do, right? So that means I understand everything. No, that's what I thought. It's a developing event,
it's
right?
Like you are not even aware that America is losing power. You are not even aware.
How?
America, when it comes to the dollar, the power of the dollar is weakening.
Okay.
The power of the dollar is weakening, and one day it will collapse.
Can I ask you, is that the first time? America
actually,
went in. Hold on.
It's just about the first time, actually. What are you saying is not this?
All right, hold on. No, okay. All right, okay. Let me put you this, right? McKinley, right? The president of the former 25th president of the United States of America, who we come leading to First World War, waiting they know for a tariff, just like Trump. At the same time, I waited and kill her for better the assassinator, right? This is towards the end of 1900. The first 2 decades of 1900, what happened? America went into the Great Depression. People they queue up.
America was not the sole superpower. You see,
hold on now. Let me finish. I just tell you, say when I want to say that's what I asked Nigeria, not be the first time. So I just want to give you instances where all these things like close like this don't happen. There's a history no they happen. They say, but it rhymes, right? So the first early 20 years of what 1900, not depression. I'm not talking the big great power. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about America as its state. They went into depression. People were actually picking food from the gutter. Right? The next 20 years that follow, what happened? They won the Second World War. The first 20 years that follow, right? They won the Second World War. Not be the 70s yet. Now they switch their dollar. What happened to the dollar then? It was becoming worthless, right? A deal was struck with the war we have with Saudi Arabia today. They're back. What am I trying to say is that until it's over, I know we ever rule them out. Because they don't experience, and again, I believe so much. That's what you said. Just as you know, sorry.
You don't need to overtalk now. Come on, other people are here. There's no need to overtalk. See,
no, let me just line with this one point. No verse. I want to hear for what Jide talk. Jide was talking about classified documents. Yeah, he's talking about classified documents. I like Jide for that because nothing where they happen now, where they no write them down. So is they are not acting out of fluke. Not be say that they react.
I
They
just sent the document I read.
they are not reacting. Now then they upheaval everything.
Now. Everyone
Yes.
can go through
Everything
it.
you are saying doesn't make sense. Like some of the things you are saying doesn't add up. You're like America goes and takes Maduro. You are acting as if they accomplished something very, very great. The government is still in place. And in the case of this thing, American dollar is being. Do you know how many countries are taking up China's currency? It's ridiculous.
I didn't argue with you now. I agree with you.
Even in Africa now. So all those things, America, like when you try to say that America before the Second World War, they were, had a Great Depression and all kinds of stuff. Then they came out of it and won the war. But the world at that time was being governed basically by colonial empires, Europeans, in other words. That is what we are experiencing now is a totally different world, and that world didn't even include Russia then. Now the world includes Russia and includes China, maybe even India.
No, now they are superpower. Don't put that out, please. It's very important. They were not then, but now they are.
Then the Europeans were the superpower.
Now they are the superpower.
Yeah, but they are also Europeans.
So,
you see, you are looking at it different. You see, I'm looking at like one continuous power.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Now,
I think what I will agree with you is that the Western civilization is declining, but America as a state is not declining. That's my argument.
America will not fade into nothing. That's the truth. If you look at the history of superpowers from the last 2,000 years, that's why I keep telling people that if you don't make your country strong, see, let me finish, please. That the importance of making your country strong is very, very great, because if you look at most of the powers that existed, even from 2,000 ago, or even before 2,000 years, they are all still doing relatively well. Even if they are not superpowers today, they are doing just fine. Compared to us, they are doing just fine. So America is not going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. But to say that their power is not going to win, it's going to get to a point whereby it's going to reach a tipping point where people will be like, "Oh, you can't do anything, and we're not going to use the dollar anymore." That is where it's going to
speculate. Yes,
I'm thinking 2030 at most. 2030 at most. Yes. Even Americans believe that. Hold on, let me give you this. Even Americans believe that the fulcrum is going to rotate by 2027. That's why they are doing all these things. They believe they say it all the time. Go and check their reports. Their own is 2027. They believe that China will surpass them.
Trump will still be president. How? You know, see that Trump will still be here as the president by 2010.
I also heard about what Marco Rubio said, that they are not going to be custodians of their managed decline. But the reason why he's saying that is because that's what the others already know. Europeans already know it. There's nothing you can do. China has already risen. And remember, it's not only China.
You leave them behind
all
now.
those countries, they're all rising.
But to Nigeria, okay. Let's say within the next 20 years, right? Some countries will decline, some will rise up, right? I'm looking at people like the Polish people. Great Britain will still be there. Germany will still be relatively strong. I believe Turkey will still be here. This is the way they talk. I don't believe they will be the most powerful country within that
America
region.
is the one that is going to change. See, other countries are going to be fine because they are already relying on other foreign currencies or whatever, or their own currency to an extent. But America's one is the dollar.
Now economic change will happen. Now economic change, they happen. Power.
Just to put this into perspective, did you hear what the US ambassador said yesterday on that Tucker Carlson show? He said like you said, like what Father just said, they are now openly saying what they are doing. They are not hiding it anymore. He said it clearly that it would be best. Listen, let me talk now. It would be best that Israel takes over the entire Middle East. He said it. He fucking said it.
No, I agree.
It would be best for Israel to take over the entire Middle East.
I didn't hear that particular.
No, but I know that they are working on it.
He kept saying that the descendants. Remember the descendants.
But do you believe that we talk?
Oh my God! Can we calm down? He said. Remember the context he was speaking from was the descendants of Abraham, and very, very interesting because I don't know whether they are talking about Ishmael versus Isaac or just only Isaac descendants. Because if it's only Isaac descendants, then we are talking about Israelites that we are talking about. And those Israelites are not only the house of Judah. and the entire thing is completed. Then Tucker Carlson told him, okay, if that's the case, let's rely only on the descendants. It doesn't have to do with Judaism. Why does that have to do with Judaism if it's the descendants? So he started becoming a little bit iffy there, because he was the one that said, at first, he said that somebody can be Jewish but not practicing Jews, so they still qualify to be Israelis and they still have a right of return. So if they are not practicing Judaism, so they are allowed to return back. Then Dr. Kazin said, okay, if that's the case, then anybody that is not a descendant of Abraham doesn't need to be there, because that's the promise. The promise, it doesn't say you have to be Jewish. It says the descendant of Abraham. So, and he didn't like that. And that was why a lot of people call him a traitor, because he was speaking from both sides of his mouth. And
why do you think the interview take place? Why do you think the interview take place by?
Because he wanted to get the message there.
I listened. He said it. He said it now.
And that guy always thinks that he's too smart.
He said Israel should take over the Middle East. It was not Ukabi. He had an interview with
Israel
take over the Middle East. He said
this
it.
Is what yeah, no.
Saudi Arabia have said that their relationship is backward now. It's a setback.
No, this is why I asked that question. Hold on now.
Okay, go
on. Oh my God. I am not arguing saying this. I'm the question I asked that why now? I asked that because the negotiation is still going on in Iran. Right? Remember, in today's war, the regional war is going to be class of civilization. So if you listen to the words in the use, I like the way Nigeria try to analyze either the Jewish people, the Israelites, and others. So talking about civilization are here. So the question where I want to ask is that, do you think they will achieve it? Jide, you said that's the goal. That's what they matter. If that's the word you use, do you think that will be achievable to be
I don't think it will be achievable. And if it's going to even be achieved, the cost is going to be unprecedented, and it will probably even lead to the further destruction of the entire world. Because the world that we know it is going to be very, very different. It's not going to be the same again. Like when I mean the world, I'm not even talking about world order or no world order. I mean that there will be complete destruction of, you know about apocalypse, right? It's not the apocalypse. Everything will be destroyed. It's not going to, like
some people believe that they are beginning to believe that some of all these cloud billionaires, they actually want that to happen. That because they feel like the rest of the population, they are just an inconvenience. They want themselves, that they believe that human beings are like incubators for AI, that the AI is the one that they actually want to succeed, and they will upload their own consciousness into AI when AI becomes conscious, whatever. So, and these people don't care about human beings from that point of view. And there's also this. Let me finish one other one. There's another point again that is coming through that makes China seem like geniuses. I'm telling you, they will make them seem, and it also makes Karl Marx seem like a genius too. What is happening right now is that the world is becoming more automated, and the robots are becoming more. They are going to become more and more everywhere. In other words. And what Elon Musk is talking about, robots that will be inside your house but can even do better operation than even a surgeon. That's the level of sophistication these robots can become. So if that is the case, people will barely have jobs anymore. And according to one capitalist, he said, if in a world where people don't have jobs anymore, then sign me up for communism. That is what a capitalist said.
Thank you,
that's the direction of the world.
Bibi, I bet put that name back, that two Nigeria with one brace, put them back, because at times, he said they connect, right? So what we just described in Iran is largely largely civilizational part of the ongoing struggle, right? What you just described, if you tell me saying that waiting go bring civil war come America with that, and if you say it will happen tomorrow, I'm with you, because that is the change that is coming.
I 100% agree.
America is a capitalist country. So a lot of people are going to lose their job. So they are going to be losers and winners in real time. Talking about real time. What the interview you saw was real time negotiation in Iran within the country. So you are seeing real time people are going to lose their job to what they cannot fight back. Before, if a black man take your job, you go beat that, you go do whatever. If immigrant can't take your job, but what are you going to do that? So that is the divide that is coming between the have and the have not. The old guys, that's why when Trump come, drill, right, is to push back on the capital Silicon Valley's guy. but it's pretty much too late. So there is change that is coming that we are not factoring in, and that change is happening in war zone more than. So the economy is a big thing that can actually lead to that civil war in America. I totally see that, but again, they will sit down. They already. This is already going on. What's the Manhattan project of that lead to second with everything is actually going on. When they see Facebook, they build a warehouse that is like it passed the whole Nigeria. Elon Musk, they build the own. It passed the whole. So what do you think is taking place in all those warehouses in Arizona, upstate New York, every fucking length and breadth of this country? Things are happening. So when you know they factor all those things in, I say, oh, now they actually undermine this country. If you go bear me witness, innovation and industry is springing up like never before, especially in the weapon industry or the startup. Like we are entering a zone that
I think. Hold on, let me remind you again. You have innovation going on in America. That is true, especially in the defense industry. But for every single engineer America creates, China is creating at least 5. You can't beat that. Like the gap. America knows it. You are the one saying all this one. America knows you are in trouble already. I don't know why you are just scrolling for them.
To Nigeria, I recognize that fact. That is what America is not fighting China directly. It's fighting that we speak true because all those innovation where America China they chump now basically consume them. So if your market is choked by your competition, what do you think is going to happen to you and your population? Una go explode too. So that's what is going on. They won't choke themselves.
China hardly needs the world. China and Russia are self-sufficient. They barely need anybody.
I agree, but that's what America is trying to break. Are they going to succeed? I don't know, but that's the goal.
That's exactly the point of the fight between both sides. Yes. That's exactly, yes.
They are demarcating the world for a reason, so that everybody go negotiate individually.
America can pull Russia away from China because America has stabbed Russia so many times, and at the same time, it's not in America's interest to do it. At the same time, the moment America pulls Russia closer, when Russia gets comfortable, first, all the Europeans will be like, you brought Baba in.
Let's come back home.
Hold on, let me finish my point. Let you know that point, that is a dead end. America can go like maybe this in Trump might want to do it, but the next president that comes in America will be like, no, this is the worst outcome for us. Because the best outcome for America was to work with China at first. That's why they won the Cold War. If they hadn't done that, they would have lost that Cold War. But now, for America to say, oh, let me go back to Russia, that's not going to work, because if Russia becomes the heart of Europe and between Europe and Asia,
you are making a mistake there.
Taking over everything.
Let me point this out to you. Any president will go come, we go continue for where Trump stop. Now, let me put it out to you.
No, not the same way.
Of course, but the pressure, right? The pressure where they don't open, so we have to continue. Because if you look the pressure what Donald Trump put on China when he come the first time, as he go, Biden actually put more pressure on it. He didn't stop it.
No, not the same way. No, what Biden did was start the decoupling process. Trump didn't even do that. Trump was just putting pressure to the point whereby China was worried that they were going to be attacked.
Okay, let's come back. Let's come back on how me, you, and Jide, how we they fail. We they fail because we still get a chance to salvage ourselves. We have come of age when
we're
all
going
of
to be
us
ending in about 5 minutes, so we don't have a lot of time. We already come past the time.
We've come of age whereby we understand the next thing that is coming and the way our leaders are moving. That none of these people is talking about this changing that is coming, that is going to alter our lifestyle. The Europeans are still arguing out to rules and regulation. Every other country, they use their rules and regulation to see what they can get from all this silicon guy. But our leaders, both those who want to collect power, from Showore to every one of them, everybody know they talk about it. And we are so now, we know they put the pressure on them. But most importantly, why do you think they are turning their blind eye? Because if me and you, all of us, actually understand this nitty-gritty of this thing, don't tell me then we get resources and have access to information even before we're born. They don't understand what is going on. Why do you think nobody is actually? They are not asking. It's as if what we are talking about now, like will be alien to our elite. We're not talking average Nigerians. We understand that. So what we are talking about now, why do you say we're going to talk about National Assembly for Abuja? Tell me how many of them we know go to see meanwhile they smoking, all of us they smoke. So why do you think that is? Because this is a pivotal movement, like literally, it's not as it maybe not be us, but our offspring. They go be zombie. That's zombie we're thinking about. That's what is awaiting them. Because if you do fighting for Nigeria the next 10 years, now robot and automation go full up. And
See,
this man will
you see the term you use about zombie, which is interesting because it occurred to me when I was in Nigeria. I feel like when fellas say we are zombie, there's something fella observed about us that is quite pertinent to that statement. Because what I've noticed about Nigerians today, the lack of attention to detail is scary. Like we don't pay attention to simple things. And maybe that is where he got that zombie thing from, because it's almost like we just coast around, like we don't really notice things. My observation is not like I don't see that in, like, let's say when I'm in the UK or anything. People tend to observe things more in the UK. In Nigeria, they don't care. They just they are all in their head,
but
doing their
where observation. Sorry,
that's
where human observation they come from primarily, as a like, what do you think actually strike your interest? Is it from teachers' classroom, or is it from program from television, news media, or is it from peers? What actually go say, hey, come pay attention to this, right? Like,
religion is number one. Your religion is number one. Nigerians, religion, oh my God. It's a big problem.
It's crazy. It's grabbed their mind.
When I mean religion, I mean Islam and Christianity. Those two religion.
I agree.
Your ability to perceive reality is affected greatly by the way religion, a kind of the way your religion is consumed. It affects it a lot. Because if everybody can tell you that, if the pastor keeps telling you that don't worry about the world, the reward is heaven, and you're not going to be paying attention closely. Most of your life, you don't have access to a lot of scientific methods and all these things, so you're not going to be paying attention.
This Christian genocide, what do you think is going to because now religious fight now, before now tribe, now religious fight? Do you think it's going to exacerbate that foolishness as it will make the religion stronger, or this is beginning of the end?
It just exposed us. I like that question because that's exactly the point. You see, the intelligence agencies, they know us, probably they even know us more than we know ourselves. They use that Christian genocide thing to co-opt us and to manufacture consent to do what they are doing right now in Nigeria. You see, those two religions, they've made us lost. We've lost ourselves. Like, look at what's going on in Brazil right now. That's what should be done in Nigeria. Just 2 days ago in Brazil, I don't know if everyone is following what's going on social media.
No.
An Argentine that was racist towards a Brazilian.
No, that one is even small. That one is small. That one is not even a big news.
I beg, tell me, I missed it. I don't know.
The Brazilian carnival, the Yoruba carnival in Brazil. Everyone should go and look at it. The pure Yoruba, very beautiful, very Nigerian. It's a Brazilian carnival. They're having their early carnival now, and it's coincided with Black History Month. Brazilian carnival.
How is that bigger than jailing somebody for being casually racist?
No. I'm driving at somewhere. That one is bad too. I'm not saying that one is not bad. The point I'm making is that we are lost. To an average Nigerian saying that's demonic. To a Muslim or Christian, that's demonic. We are lost. In Brazil, I can say that if you can play those videos, it's
I've seen those
sophisticated Nigerian culture like that. We should even be used to be selling about our heritage. That alone will generate billions. It is Brazil that is doing it for us.
We don't even sell Nigeria.
So are we going to be? So it's not dying soon, be that. Even if the religion, even if
it's not dying, it's getting worse. They are getting apocalyptic. Consider they are thinking US, they say US is the savior. That is what's going on. The Islamic are saying that US is Arabs that will save those ones. It's Arabs. Those other ones is Fulani that is coming to attack them. It's US that is Jesus Christ. These people are damaged. They cannot see themselves. That's why an average Nigerian would die in Benue, and everybody will still go to work. Everybody will still go to work. Don't you understand? This thing has been going on for over 10 years. Yeah, people are dying. I mean, how old was I when I was 10, 15 years ago? I was much younger than this. Yeah, that time, people will still go to work, and I'm like, this is not normal. We're not normal people, man. Something is really wrong with us. Like I said, if you want a Brazilian carnival, if you celebrated in Nigeria, Nigerians call it demonic. They'll call it demonic. They'll say it's evil. Eshu. I think I know Yoruba. Eshu. They say Eshu. It's Satan. You see how damaged you are? They say Eshu. Eshu is not Satan. It's a spiritual being. It's a spiritual entity in Yoruba spirituality. Pure Yoruba spirituality. Eshu is not Satan. Our fellow Nigerians, 2 to 3 people, they'll call him Satan. They were venerating Eshu in Brazil yesterday, in Rio de Janeiro, or 2 days ago. I was watching, I felt like crying. I was ashamed. These are the things. This is who we are. These Brazilians, our cousins in Brazil. Those are good Brazilians are just Nigerians. Brazilians are just like Nigerians.
So, so as Nigeria, Nigeria will carry gun against itself over religion than over tribe.
See,
Which one?
bro, I don't know about your parent, but I suspect that if you are exhibiting African spirituality with your parent or your brother, they will disown you.
I'm lucky now.
It sounds funny, but I'm serious. Me, I
agree with your point.
Me. If I say I'm going to worship Eshu, I have some of my family that will disown me. If I tell them I'm going to
I think
what do you think? Which one will go fight over first? Religion or tribe? Which one will go carry gun against each other first? Because we are there now.
I think the tribe one is where we still are. We have not qualified to the religious one yet. See, my take of
we are not qualified.
Okay. Because the tribes need to be united to do religious fights. They are not there yet.
I think I have a position. I think we have conquered that tribe already. We have 2 married.
I think you are, to an extent, you are right there. There's an element of denial on the political. I wouldn't say denial. The political class use it as a tool. They know who Nigerian.
So our time. We're not going to use that. Maybe we use that. Today you go use that. This is why they like Yoruba.
Let me round up. I'm trying to round up. Let me try to round up. So that celebration that we see in Brazil, I've seen that before. I remember having this conversation with
like this one is very sophisticated.
Let me finish.
Pastor decided for link.
No. We are closing. Pastor, you are late. Sorry. So
let
me finish now. I saw that this thing, celebration, and I always warn Nigerians when they say everything in Brazil is somehow Yoruba. It's not true.
No, it's not Yoruba.
There are multiple cultures that fuse to create what is there. Most of them, obviously, Nigerians have numbers. You are going to see
the black community. They are talking about the black community in Brazil.
Because you see the Congolese there, you see the other groups, they are also there, and because you see the one that resembles you, completely miss the others, and it's not always fair to do that. But that said, I think, gentlemen, you guys are the geopolitical guys, and I'm in Nigeria. And clearly, I'm sorry for.
Cities 49 Nigeria. From Bacardi, you are in Nigeria,
Not tribe you. You are not Nigerians.
I challenge you to go to one secondary school and teach your military strategy. I know they call it a Nigeria problem.
I could. Okay, we'll see. I could do that actually. Maybe that's not a bad idea, but I don't know. Maybe they will come and carry me. Yeah. So, but that's it.
You are a general. You are scared. A general man.
No, why would that be? No, I won't be scared. See, no, I would be scared, but I wouldn't still mind because
seriously, I think that's what we are missing because we need to. We our generation. It's time for us to go and actually.
This is not a to and fro. Let me round up here. illustrious
All
son
right.
of Edo. Thank you for joining us this Ovie. And let me thank all the people on the chat. Okalala, Jefferson, Pansat. I'm sorry I couldn't, share the link because we've got to go. Ikolala, I see you there. I think I've Dan Azaya, I see you there too. I don't know why people say I'm trying to become enemy of progress in Nigeria. Boaz Biggie, I see you there. Judeo Oriote, thank you. Ben Codrington, thank you for joining us. All the people that have joined us, thank you. I'm really sorry about the technical issues we've been having because, I'm still trying to feel my way
Tell us you are running out of data. Mogu, say maybe we'll give you money by data. Tell us you are running out of data. We know.
I'm still trying to figure my way around Nigerian technology. So when I get proper connection, I'll be able to be on properly. But maybe by that time, I'll be back in the UK, so I'll be able to stream
The
better.
network in town is City Boy network. Get a City Boy network.
Yeah. By April, I will start doing a bit longer sessions and be able to actually hold maybe 6 hours. After 3 hours, start another.
You're going to be in Nigeria for that long?
No. Even if I return back, I still need to settle in and April before I start getting more active in terms of online this stuff. So that's the plan anyway. Man proposes stuff, isn't it? So we'll see how it goes. Thank you for joining me today.
Make sure you get multiple women, Bele. We need many children from you. That's follow your ideology. Give multiple women, Bele, before you leave.
Sorry, I thought I should add something about this tribe. They are a special group. I have to, show a little bit of decorum. That's difference to the Tiv ethnic group in Nigeria. These are the Tiv ethnic group, and this is their week. I'm going to be covering their culture, and these are a Bantoid speaking group within Nigeria. Those people that think Nigerians don't have Bantus, you are mad. Okay, stop it. This is at the heart of Nigeria, and you have a Bantoid group here, and the Mambila Plateau is where the Bantu expansion really started, and they spread all over the world. And Nigerians that don't know that many black people you see all over Africa are linked to this land that you call Nigeria. If you don't know that now, because that is why Nigeria is so important on the continent. And people that keep taking Nigeria for a joke, if you're in Nigeria and you're taking it for a joke, you really need to think again. Think again. Because this land that you see here that we call Nigeria is the most populated region on the continent. There's a reason why it's the most populated, because it's the fountain of life that spread all over Africa. And you can see it all over the continent. The Tiv are a symbolic image of that representation. That is just one slither of how important your birthright is that we sell away for as if it's nothing. I just thought I should highlight that while I play them out. Thank you.